Good to go. Whatever happens.
Oh, man.
Yeah, figure out how to add a thing to my thing.
Mm.
Congratulations.
Even I'm a little vague, but my brain is also a little scattered at the moment, so. You were right. It does look pretty barren at the moment, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Alrighty. Well, so, last game. Last game we picked up at the beginning in the heart of Ken Silverlight. This ephemeral space in the between that had been created upon Ken's death. And you had ventured into expecting to find Ken on his own quest of sorts, having been told by Rose, at least to Eodos, Aerith, and nobody, that Ken had gone off on a mission and would be alerting them when he was ready to either come back or if he needed help or anything along those lines. And you guys got that call to arms and rushed over to the Temple of the Raven Queen, where Arturia led you through this kind of shimmering dark doorway, and you stepped into this between space. Having fought off the first set of worms and viewed the beginning of Ken's life, the first catalyzing moment, his first memory, you all kind of steadied yourselves, and knowing something was definitely not correct because Ken wasn't here, but having encountered strange things in the past, you pressed forward, following along this kind of winding path through this starlight field and fighting other incarnations of worms, drakes, and dragons, and ancient dragons, and something that you had never really even seen before, bigger than even when you fought him. In the end, having viewed the moments and scenes of Ken's life, having lived it and experienced it as though you were Ken himself, you carried these little pieces of warm platinum light within you, and having viewed the final crystal and seeing and feeling him become Ascalon and strike down Angarad, you were all then returned to your physical bodies in the material plane, carrying this small flame within you, and Arturia heard a voice telling her to return to the mountain where he could be returned to you all. Arturia, being tapped a bit on spells, reached out to Aerith, who had enough magic left to send descending out to Oda Ari, who was able to draw on the power of the mountain and open a gate for you all to step through into Pretender's court, carrying within you that platinum flame. Arturia came out, stepping forward, holding Soul Shatter aloft, shattering it with her mission completed, her dragonborn form no longer bound to her. She returned to her full silver dragon height and size, and as she did, the door of the mountain cracked open, shone upon her, and Arturia made a wish. A deep wish that even she wasn't conscious of in that moment. But this being that deep desire to just bring him back, let him rejoin these foolish adventurers to try to keep them on a path towards the right end. And that wish was granted. As the little flames left from each of you coming out in a small flicker and coalescing, the body of Ken rematerialized and built itself from that energy, having changed slightly, now a bit broader, a bit taller, platinum horns adorn in the top of his head, and a long platinum tail stretching out of the base of his spine. Little patches of platinum scales up and down his arms. He looked out over each of you, having, in his mind, just been in Baldur's Gate at night, in the midst of a magical rainstorm caused by nobody, and fighting Angarad. He looked out at each of you, seeing Arturia again, and Oda Ari, Asmakella, nobody, Eodos, Rose, as they slowly back away from everyone else. Aerith ran forward, threw his arms around Ken in a giant hug, kind of pulled himself away, took his coat off, and wrapped it around Ken's shoulders. And Era's coat goes down about halfway through his shins, and on Ken only really goes down to about past his, like, just above his knees. He's much taller than Aerith now, but you guys all looked out over him. Eodos, you had prompted him with a mild chastisement to not just go off on missions alone and just take the party, let everybody know next time. And I believe Ken was like, I don't remember any of that. Was that the right phrase, Ken? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, it's like I would accept the chastisement if I remembered, going on a mission.
And that was where we will pick up, as you are all standing here on the peak of the Nether Mountains in the court of Pratanther. Arturia kind of reaches down and scoops up this small platinum orb or silver orb that manifests after Soul Shatter was broken. Taz and Oda Ari are looking on in wonderment and a little bit of confusion.
Very fair. I am also confused. I am also noticing that I am without clothes. Besides this jacket. Thank you, Era.
You're welcome.
Let's see.
He just wraps his arms back around you. He's just going to hug you for probably until you push him off.
Yeah, I'll just tap his head, little head taps. All right. So how long have I been gone? And while y'all discuss things, I am going to do a little artificery work, and then I'll draw a transmutation circle on the ground real quick, and then activate.
Okay. All right. So you do need to have thieves' tools or some sort of artisan's tools, but I'm pretty sure somebody should have something they could lend you. Right? Let's see.
Who has thieves' tools?
Nobody would be the only person because Rose took somebody's and broke them the last time, remember?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Rose took my thieves' tools and broke them trying to crack open the door.
I don't have thieves' tools. I have alchemist supplies.
I think I rebought a set though after I broke yours.
Your alchemist supplies technically would work. They are artisan's tools.
Well, there you go. You want to craft a potion?
No. Unfortunately, I did not pay a lot of attention in the alchemy specialization classes Sid did. So I'm just gonna use these to generate my own set of tools.
All right. So as Ken crouches down and starts meticulously kind of disassembling your alchemy kit and putting it together in a completely different way, just like rearranging the various components until it is this small box-like device.
I mean, this is the perfect
Mixing
time
the
to
liquids
talk.
and powders and makes a box out of it.
Yeah,
Because
while he's doing this.
you're going to be spending an hour doing this, so let's piece together the gap that you have. Because you pieced out after we dealt with what's his name, the dragon guy. So what do you remember after then?
I don't remember anything. I remember us curb stomping him. I cut off his head, had a nice deep, relaxing sigh, and then nothing.
So you kind of, not right then, but like that night, you sort of pieced out on us, and Rose had to fill us in after you left. So maybe some of your memories are wrapped up in like that weird in between area. We kind of pieced together what we could of your stuff, and I think we got it all. I mean, there was only a handful of crystals, and once we had them all, we kind of came back. Maybe Do we have anything that can like jostle memories?
Anyone have greater restoration?
Hmm. Well. Oh,
Because
maybe.
I feel like if you went on a mission and you can't remember it, it might be important to remember that mission because we still don't even know what the fuck the mission was for.
Do you want me to
Yeah.
take Arturia, or do you want to still?
Yeah, you can take over for her.
Gotcha. Okay. She has kind of like started to back away. She scoops up the core and kind of like gets down onto her four haunches. She doesn't want to turn back into a dragonborn at the moment, or her human form. She likes being a dragon. And she's listening intently as Eodos is talking, and is kind of just like watching back and forth, and will just occasionally just side eye out of the corner of her eye over to Rose. What are you doing, Rose?
They're probably just sitting back against the wall and kind of just watching from a distance.
Where is Rose? Oh,
Over
you're way
down
at the
here.
bottom.
Yeah.
Well, and her voice comes out heavy and much larger. I do not have the spell today, but I could ask Lord Null in the morning for greater restoration and attempt to restore lost memories then.
Shit, Artur, is that you?
Greetings, Ken. It is good to see you well again.
Hey, you completed the mission. Nice.
I did.
Oh, congratulations. I hope the gang hasn't given you too much trouble.
Your allies have been very enlightening, and my time spent with them has changed my perspective greatly.
Good to hear. Glad to hear. So while we're trying to figure out my memory situation, what's happening with you guys? Anything happen with the cold? Anything else of import happen? What's up? Fill me in. Lay it on me.
You
I mean,
talked
it's
to
only
Robert.
yeah, it's honestly only been a couple days. But we had a few days of downtime, and then we went to talk to Robert. We didn't have to fight him. We worked out a deal. We got devils on our side now. And when he says on our side, he does like air quotes because obviously there's devils. So like, not really on any side, but their own. But I mean, you know, tentatively, that's good.
An agreement of sorts with the Archdevil, Zariel, Archdemon, Archdevil, something like that.
We did find out the cults pulled out of the country. They're making some moves that are not bueno. Very inopportune for you being gone on a mission. So when we got word that you got bodied, it's been a little bit of a problem.
Okay, so Robert's alive. That's good. I didn't have any ill will towards him.
Aureus is alive too now? Or was Ken here for that?
I
Say
don't
what?
think we did that while he was gone.
Yeah, no, he was gone.
Okay, yeah, so Aureus is alive.
What?
Yeah, we finally had the means to undo a stone and revive him because when he died or when he was stoned originally, we didn't have the strength to do it. So since we were here, we figured we'd go ahead and handle that while we were in town. And he's kind of hanging out in Artoria's apartment, by the way. So you might want to send word that you are dragon mode. You might not be back for a little while.
Oh, me, my apartment. No, it's been paid for the next 3 months. He's welcome to stay there for as long as he wishes. No one will bother him until the next 3 months' rent's due.
What else did we do?
I mean, I got my notes here if you guys just want me to give you a brief, overview.
Yeah, you might want to, because I didn't realize that we took 9 days. I know we took 3 to get all that stuff together before we went to go deal with Robert, but I didn't think it had been
Took us a
that
day or
long.
two to get to
It was,
Robert too.
yeah, you had to ride across the country. So, at the end of the 1st of April, that was the battle with Angharad. That happened at late at night. The next day was the 2nd. That was talking with oh, let's see. Nobody got the shard out of his head. Got his memories back. That was, yeah, because Rose did. That's right, because Rose did the modify memory, and then that same day you got the shard out and got your memories back, kind of, sort of, starting to come back. You met Arturia. Did nobody's healing. Rose and Arturia robbed a bank. You got the airship back. You got your friends back. You had
Yeah,
it was like
we're
4 days
gonna
of downtime.
we're gonna start a new sect of the guild hall.
You let's see. On the 7th, you decided that was the day you were going to leave Eriabor, but as you were heading out, opted to go and bring Orias back one last, chance, one last time, and then you left for Robert, going up through Elturel and traveling east along the road. You fought Bone Devils, Horn Devils, Pit Fiend, finally getting to Robert, talking with Zariel. From there, you went to Waterdeep, and so because you did that with Zariel, Waterdeep, and then you slept before doing everything with the Raven Queen's Temple, right? So maybe it's the 10th. Either way, it's been over a week. It's
Yeah.
I thought it had only been like 5 days or so. Good lord. How
yeah,
long were we in Eriabor?
4
Oh, we were
days.
in there for I thought it was only 3 days out there.
It took a little bit longer than we expected. Let's see, what was the last day?
We had to wait like one more day or something for the airship stuff.
Yeah,
Maybe, or we had to wait a little bit
something
longer.
that got delayed. You and Eriabor, but yeah, that's at least according to my notes. You learned that the cult has pretty much moved out of the Sword Coast and is moving into the Dale Lands. You have your allies researching it. Rose had reached out to a few to start looking into what the Dale Lands could be, who got back to them that they're on it, but no one's really had anything come up yet. That was only a couple days ago.
Okay. Well, glad. Well, not glad that the cult's gone from the coast, but that at least gives us some breathing room to handle business here. Shit. Okay.
Yeah. Remember, was Rose able to send a sending to Captain Caitlin Carver?
They tried, right?
I think so, and it didn't go through.
It didn't go through, yeah.
Gotcha.
As we're doing the entire recap, Rose will get up and just like they're kind of just standing a little bit behind like Taz.
I need Taz's character sheet.
Will I get in trouble for sitting on the throne? So will I get in trouble for sitting on the throne?
Oh. Taz looks at you kind of. Sorry, I didn't mean to move you. I was wondering why your token looked like a weird color. It's because I have Namir's token on the GM layer on his throne. So you were
Sitting
sitting with
on his
Namir.
ghost.
Taz is just sort of smiling. She's like, I wouldn't be there if Namir came back, but you should be fine there for the moment. Don't just no, you can't damage it. Don't worry about it. And Oda Ari is just kind of like she has like. She's been watching you all very intently, listening. I need to roll insight for her as well. Give me a second.
Hey, she's the one that hates us. She's the one
She
that
doesn't
tossed Robert off the cliff.
hate
She
you.
likes us the least, I think.
Doesn't hate you.
She probably hates Robert, and Robert hates her because she tossed him off a cliff.
All right. Well, okay, that's not bad. What about Taz? Ooh. Taz kind of just like looks over at you, and she has like one eyebrow raised. Rose, like, is everything good? Oda Ari has been watching everyone intently, and
Rose
just kind of
will-
sizing everything up. Hasn't really said anything yet.
Rose will lean forward and just like whisper in her ear and like trying to be really quiet and just like things are complicated and I don't really know how to explain at the moment.
Okay. Can we help?
They just kind of like shrug a little and have like a wry smile.
Well, let me know if I can.
Okay, I think I got got all the notes you guys gave me memorized. I think I got a plan in motion. I need some. First of all, I need to get some clothes. So once this tool is cleared, hey sis, or both sisters, do you have any raw materials? Do you mind like plants, animals that I can have to make cloth and rubber and leather and a couple pieces of ore to make scrap pieces of metal.
I mean,
I see. Okay. So yes, so the
For-
map doesn't really show it very well, but there are like reed grasses and things that can be that can be turned into fibers if needed. If I'm catching the drift correctly.
Rose will also speak up and just like, we have a bunch of random dragon bits in a bag. I'm gonna turn some dragons into clothes.
I mean, I'm not gonna say no. It'd be kind of weird, but the more the merrier. I guess.
I got a steel mirror if you need that.
We can also bounce back to really any city if you need to get like materials and supplies.
No, it's fine.
But looking
It's
around,
fine.
you would
I
also
kind of like
see.
the idea. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's like I kind of like the idea of making new clothes from the materials here. It sounds nice.
Well,
I'm pretty sure I actually have a spare set of clothing if you need it.
There is also ore, kind of like just little flecks of it here and there throughout the rock. I mean, it's a mountain, so it's a very mountainous terrain. There's, if I'm understanding correctly, I think you could do what you wanted to do.
Neat.
So during that hour, because Ken does need to get his tools together in order to kind of build, he has to build the small artificery device in order to cast this spell. Is anybody, you guys have kind of caught Ken up? I'd say probably the recap takes about an hour, during which, Rose, you are quiet next to Tazmikella, which is a little unnerving for her. She's a little, yeah. But at the end of the hour, your device is ready, your spell ready to cast. It looks kind of just like a shoebox at the moment. It used to be alchemy tools, now it's a device.
Do I need to buy new alchemist supplies?
All right, I was right. Okay, cool. You see as he kind of like stands up, dusts his hands, pushes a button on it, and there's a glow of light as it just sort of like fills the entire device. You see the independent little components clicking into place and coming to life, and then it just pulses out about 120 feet around you. And you all feel it as it just emanates around the mountain with this wave of platinum light that just goes out, radiates over all of the grasses and the ores that you can see, the just independent little raw resources. They glow, and then it pulls itself back together, and right in front of Ken is about 3 yards of folded up undyed fabric, and I'll say 6 ingots of like iron ore from the mountaineer.
Neat. Wait, is there any like rubber or leather?
Leather. You put out some of the dragon hide.
Rose would have taken what I posted and like just kind of piled it on the floor in case he wanted any of it.
I mean, if you want to, you could make it out of the green dragon hide. You could get some leather out of that.
Yeah.
It's up to
I
you.
mean,
There aren't really animals that live here.
yeah. I figured that. Yeah. Yeah. Let's use some of that dragon hide then.
Okay, and then you also have a swath of dragonhide leather that has been treated and cured. The bone and like fangs and claws. Rubber is tree sap, and there would be enough small trees that are now desiccated, but you could have a small block of rubber. Just the essential materials you can definitely fabricate from the mountain here. I think that's a cool idea too.
Yeah, sweet. Okay. Well, I got what I needed. Just need to figure out where to have this processed to create my new clothes.
Go to the mansion. Maybe I can make some stuff there.
Probably, but I had an idea. I need to think on it. Can we go back to the house? Can we go back
mansion?
to Starfall? Yep,
Oh.
Starfall.
New house.
We can, but do you want to? You just got back from a mission that you don't even remember. Do you want to talk to the dragons, like the elders here, before we go? Because we don't have a quick way to just come back now that Artorias, he gestures towards the dragon.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Because we can,
Yeah.
like we just spent an hour, so I've got my spell slots back. We can definitely go back, but we just as a heads up. I don't have a teleportation circle for here, so if we go back, we can't just go back. In case you have any questions, comments, or concerns for them.
Touche. Yeah. If you guys don't mind, can we sleep over here tonight? Oh,
I mean, of course.
Actually, what is it? Daytime or nighttime now? I don't remember.
Boy, hold on.
How does time flow in between?
It actually. So, funny story to the woman who kind of runs the Raven Queen's temple. You guys stepped in, were gone for a blink of an eye, and came back, fucked the hell up. She kind of like looked at you, and then looked up at the queen and nodded, like the little effigy, and nodded. She knew exactly what the fuck happened.
So it's still daytime?
It would be. I'm doing time zones is the thing. Because you're on the other side of the world. So where you are right now, it's probably about dusk. It's like that gentle twilight hours of the day.
Okay.
But
Either
back
way,
on the
Ken
Sword
is
Coast, it would be
exhausted.
early. But yes, Ken, you are also 4 stacks of exhausted, and you'll be having a -4. Well, no, it's a -4 to all checks for the next 4 days. It goes up by 1 each day.
So exhaustion level 4, you said?
No, sorry. I always get those confused. It's just a -4 to all checks.
Okay.
And then tomorrow it'll be a -3. The day after a -2. The day after a -1.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, Sis gave
Ken
us
needs a
permission.
4-day vacation.
Well, they give me time to fine tune my plan. But yeah, I guess if we can sleep over, let's sleep over. Let's make a party out of it, huh?
I mean,
Yeah.
you're welcome to. I do recommend the mansion because it's a little uncomfortable. It's just rocks and chairs here, but sure.
Who's got the key? Please tell me you guys still have the key.
Of course, I have the key. What else would I do with it? I don't have the spell slots to use it, however.
Do 2 of you guys have at least level 1s? Because, I mean, I've got level 5 on deck at all times, so.
I
Do
do
any of
level
the
1.
dragon ladies have?
I got 2
slots?
level 1.
I have a level 2 slot available. Aerith
Okay.
is.
Yeah,
is-
Eidos and Aerith will. When you guys are ready, whenever you want us to open it, we'll open it. I don't know what time you want to do it, but we got you.
Now it lasts.
24 hours.
Yep.
Okay. So you open up the mansion. Before you guys head in there, as you're stepping through the doorway, Arturia will approach Ken and kind of like, not looming, but definitely looming down over you because she is still taller than you, will hold out her big, like, giant claw, and in the center of it is a sphere about the size of an orange. It has holy writing like engraved around the outside of it, and it's glowing with a soft silver light. And she just sort of holds it in front of Ken and looks down at you. I believe that this was always meant to find its way to you.
Oh. I'll take it and I'll inspect it.
That is what remains of Soul Shatter. That is, as you look over it, you can feel this kind of. It's not the holy energy that you're used to with Bahamut's. It's a little bit colder. It's a little bit more critical, but it still radiates with that like draconic power of Null. She looks down at you. The weapon named Soul Shatter for the man who had his soul shattered. It is appropriate.
Tyria. Okay, you're all right.
She just
But yeah,
smiles a little bit, like just like the little picture of her there. And she's just going to take off, and flying about 20 feet above the rest of you will smile down and be like, now if you all don't mind, I need to stretch my wings. And she's just gonna go for a run. She has not flown in a while.
bye, Tyria. You're welcome at my house whenever you feel like it.
There's just a roar in response, but it's not like an angry roar. It's just sort of like that, like howl of a wolf calling back to its pack.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Door. Mansion. Party.
All right. So Aerith and Eidos get the key from Rose. Is everybody going in the mansion?
Ken's going in.
yeah.
Yes.
He's about to put the servants to work.
Okay. That is fair. All right. Rose, you're the one I'm really the most curious about.
Right.
The rest of the party is operating under questionable information, especially now that Arturia left with only a slight hint that things may be hinky.
Rose will hang back for a minute and wait until like everyone is left.
Okay.
I guess besides Taz and Odari.
Yeah. Oda Ari is just going to stay. She wishes Arturia a farewell and looks down at each of you, and she does acknowledge you eventually and welcomes Ken back, but she is just kind of like cold and detached, almost like her attention's elsewhere at the moment.
The near world ending circumstances that are happening in the background.
Those
It's probably fun.
Probably.
Yeah, she's
that's
looking
fair.
at Taz and realized Taz has definitely gotten herself kind of entrapped in your shenanigans. So she's like, well, if one of us is going to be an adult, it has to be me. But you all step in, Aerith running in first. Oop, that is definitely my pen, not my token dragger.
Whee!
Ken steps through to put the servants to work. Nobody through. Iedos through. Rose, you stay a little bit behind.
Yeah. Is Taz sitting in her throne?
Yeah, she's kind of just been chilling in her throne the whole time.
Okay. Rose just like walks up a little bit more now and will sit like on the arm of it and kind of like lean against her a little.
She'll kind of like put her arm just around your shoulder and look down at you. What's wrong? Something's wrong. You just got. I mean, we just brought Ken back. Isn't that good?
It should be. Yeah. Honestly, it's everything that I wanted. And things are weird. Without him around to tell me not to do things, I think I do the things that I'm not supposed to.
She just sort of smiles at you. But knowing that you're not supposed to do them is the first step towards not
Well, I
doing
know
them
it
again in the future.
now.
I,
After it's done.
that's how we learn. That's how everyone learns.
I think I screwed up pretty bad this time, and I'm not sure what to do. I know what to do. I've been told what to do. Tell them. But how do you tell someone something if you think it'll make them hate you?
She kind of sits there, leans back in her throne, arm still around you. I have walked this world for many, many years and seen your species and the relationships and the wars and friendships that you can wreak. I cannot begin to predict how anyone would react, especially not really knowing what's going on. But from what I've seen, forthrightness, loyalty, honesty, virtuous things tend to soften the unvirtuous acts, and hiding from it does not make it better. It just makes the inevitable cataclysm bigger.
He doesn't know. He doesn't remember. I could just not say anything and hope it never comes up. But
it has to be your decision. I do not. I vaguely know what we're talking about. I don't want to pry.
I know.
You are all very.
I've just. At this point, I've told 2 people and I've gotten the same answer: is tell them. But at the same time, they're not the ones who have to deal with the aftermath. It's easier to tell somebody to just spill the beans, be truthful if you're not the one who has to deal with the consequences, I think.
No, you were right. It is always easier to be on the outside of these things, and your fear, I do understand. I get it. She kind of just like she stops, she thinks, sighs. I don't know how to assure you that the worst won't come to pass without knowing everything. Even if I knew what had happened, I wouldn't be able to predict how others could react to it. Not full accuracy, no one can. But I have watched and known you for a while. Since you came to this mountain and climbed my trial, circumventing it with a sneer and a snicker, and leaving your friends behind to climb the hard way. And I loved that. I thought that was wonderful. Because immediately
I gave her
after
the option.
you circumvented everything, you spent the next hour watching them just to ensure that they were safe. If you're afraid that something that you did will cause them to hate you forever, I think that is an ill-placed fear. Because I don't think that they would ever hate you forever. I think, depending on what happened, they could be upset, they could be angry, and they may even hate you for a time. But you're a family. You're a family as much as me and Odari are a family, right, Odari? She's like, I suppose we are a family, in a loose sense of the term. And smiles over at you with kind of like a, I'm fucking around, but am I smile? I don't know. But if the worst comes to pass, I'm here for you. I can assure you of that.
They're just. This is. They're the first family I've had.
I know. And you don't want to lose it.
Yeah.
Then do everything you can not to. And remember that actions will always come across better than inaction. Waiting for something to blow up or hoping it doesn't is definitely worse than trying to defuse it. Even if you try and fail, trying in and of itself speaks volumes.
Three people have told me this now, and, that means it must be right. Right. I hate
In this
this.
world, all we can do is try. We can never control the outcomes. It's as if the world itself is up to the roll of a dice.
Alright. They'll just like stretch and sit up and just. If I send you a message in like 2 hours, you'll keep me company, right? When no one else will?
Always.
I'm sure that'll be enough. Alright.
All right, get in there. Let us know if we can help, okay?
I'll either call you or I'll run screaming. You'll notice either way.
Good luck. Now, for the rest of you,
Fuck.
as Rose has their conversation, you step into the mansion. The incarnations of Maid Ken here, who have remained, look all like Ken, tilt their head sideways, grow about 7 inches, grow horns and a tail. Their hair shifts to the full platinum color. They basically just update their appearance to
New
Maid Ken.
archetypes.
And I need to send Chekhov a message with the new tokens to be like, can you make me some new maid tokens? Because I need them. But Aerith runs in. Okay, I'm going to get them cooking some food because you have to be hungry. So I'll be in the kitchen. And he just runs off. And that's an easy way to get Aerith out of the scene. Aurora brings this on himself. What are the rest of you doing?
Finding the first servant I can see.
Right.
Lay out my orders
Okay.
and then ask them for spare clothes.
Okay. As you look around and merely intent for assistance, half a dozen servants rush towards you, taking the supplies from you. You give your instructions, kind of just outlining what you want made and from where and from how, and they nod. They don't speak. They cannot speak. They just nod, listening, and then drift off into the rest of the house to use the facilities there. A few moments later, one comes back with a nice set of comfortable, like silken pajamas and a nice robe that you can just put on, taking off Eris' slightly undersized coat, putting on a nice, comfortable set of clean clothes. Eodos, what are you doing?
He's just gonna step out into the little training yard because he's assuming Ken's about to start getting to work and everybody's doing their own thing. He's just heading out there to just keep his mind busy. While we got time to wait, he doesn't really have anything and kind of like objectives he needs to accomplish, and he is, like I said, assuming that Ken's trying to make something, so he knows it's not going to do much good to try to pick his brain for like the mission right now. So he's going to leave him to it. He's just out here swinging away.
That's fair. All right. Nobody. Anything you want to do?
Nobody's in pain, so he's gonna find a couch to lay on until the food is ready.
All right. Let's see. The first and easiest couch that you can find is. Oh man, because it's like this is the first floor here. Probably this big room right here that I don't think anyone really uses. It's just like an extra room. You plop down knowing it's near the kitchens and the main dining hall. All right. So Ken, having given your orders, you put on your clean robes and hand Aerith's coat off to the servant there to return to Aerith. And as you are moving towards your next objective, you hear the door open from behind you and see Rose step in, joining the rest of the group. As I find Rose's token. And
Hey,
move Rose
there
onto
you
the map.
go. What's up? Talking with Taz McKellar, I'm assuming?
Yeah. Hi, Ken.
Hey.
I know I didn't
So, weird question.
say hi.
I got you. Weird question. And Ken will like tap his like forehead and like look over and like see the tail waggling. Does this maybe look weird? Do you think we might have some issues with this? All of this?
Weird? Weird in what way? I mean, I think it looks cool. Does it feel weird?
I mean, I kind of felt it whenever I activated my dragon trigger, but I think whatever you guys did to bring me back, it made this form permanent. So, kind of like
I mean,
not weirded out in a negative way, but I guess I'm still trying to, I guess, unravel everything that's happened. So,
yeah.
well, if I look cool, then I'll leave it at that.
I think it's less of what we did to you and more of what you did to yourself.
Oh crap! That reminded me. I'm gonna will another servant back to
Okay.
add to my request.
Mhm.
I forgot to have them. If there's any cloth left over, have them make a big ass trench coat.
The
Make sure
servant of
they
yourself.
add a butthole. Your tail.
Nods, looks over at Rose, kind of drifts around to the back of Ken, looks over him, takes out an ephemeral like measuring tape, and just starts taking some measurements of Ken from like shoulder to foot. You're just gonna measure yourself for a minute or two while you guys are talking.
So I mean, yeah, I just
Yep.
realized really exactly walk around, with being a platinum half dragon, that could cause
I
some
mean-
issues.
I don't think anyone would question you. They might be confused,
Just confused.
but well, it looks cool. I don't think anyone would really realize the significance. But I mean, honestly, half our party looks weird in one way or another. I don't think it's that different.
Mm. Well, better safe than sorry, especially if we get to go to a more, if we ended up having to go back to Baldur's Gate and the temple district. If I get caught by a cleric of Bahamut for some reason, then all hell's gonna break loose. Knowing our luck. Better safe than sorry. I'll just have one made and have it just in
Sure.
case.
I need to talk to you.
Yeah, no problem. Want to go somewhere we can sit, or what's up?
They'll look around, like nobody else is nearby, right?
No. Closest one, you can
Yes,
hear
come on.
Eidos in the distance, kind of just training, to become almost like a regular background noise to your downtime. But no, you don't see anybody else.
All right. This is fine, especially if you're still working on stuff. I just need I'll be here talking while you work. But
I mean, I'm not working. The servants are working.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just because I just remembered it, nobody. When Ken finished casting Fabricate, the box-like device that he had built out of your alchemy tools shuddered, twitched, and then exploded back into your alchemy tools. You still have your alchemy tools.
Yeah.
That works, I guess.
I'd
Still
meant to
make
tell you that.
unholy amalgamations.
Yeah, they look fine. You're looking over at it, and you're like, this was definitely he took this apart. What?
And we'll never understand magic.
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 Artificery, my dear what?
The best I can do is a cantrip.
I mean, you can make it rain. That's kind of magic.
I don't know how I do that.
Exactly.
I'm sure if I asked Ken, he would give me an in-depth lecture of how he was able to do that.
I'm sure.
Yourself holding your tool in your hands, like I'm like, sure if I asked, but do I want to know?
Nope. I'm tired. I'm in pain. I'm finding a couch.
That's fair.
Nobody's not used to actually taking damage in a fight.
Yeah, usually I have cover or place to hide. I'll maybe get hit once, and then I'm like, yes, run away faster next time.
I'll just use a potion and be fine.
Be further.
But yeah.
Okay. Either way, man. Before, I don't even remember if it was before the first time you died or the second. You said that we needed to have a family meeting. And I don't remember what it was about at this point. Just that you were disappointed in me and the decisions I make.
I remember that conversation. It was about the black worm mask.
Yeah.
Yes, that is correct.
Honestly, I think I've done something worse now.
Bro.
I mean, things are hard. The ideas of morality and good and bad, they're hard when you're not here to stop me or to tell me otherwise or to tell me that's a terrible idea and you should never have done that because now everyone's going to hate you. Ken, I fucked up.
Okay.
Um,
Well, the first step is admitting when you made a mistake. Now, what does this mistake entail?
all right. When we fought Angarad and you called on Ascalon, even though we told you not to because it was a terrible idea, but that's besides the point. You did it. We won the fight. And then you shattered.
Shattered. What do you mean shattered?
I mean, you turned to us and looked us in the eyes and fell into stardust. You were just gone. And it was a lot. It was hard. Aerith broke down. Theodos, he sat in the training hall all night, breaking dummy after dummy. Even nobody, I mean, it still hit him hard, even though we hadn't really we'd never done anything like that before. And we didn't know how to cope. How do you cope with watching your brother explode and knowing there was nothing you could do about it? So I did something about it. I was trying to help, and I just didn't want to see them hurt anymore. So I took it away until we could figure out what to do, until I could figure out what to do, how to bring you back.
What'd you take away, Rose?
I made them forget. If you can't remember, you can't be sad. They wouldn't stay up all night worrying about what to do next or how to figure everything out. I figured out how to mess with memory, and now things are complicated.
That's putting it lightly.
No. I tried, like I said, I wanted to help. And I know that if you had been here, you would have told me that was a terrible solution. Hell, I mean, I couldn't really talk to him about it, but he kind of told me it was a terrible solution before I panicked and did it anyways.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely the nuclear option to a situation that could have been, talked through.
Hey,
But
kettle calling the pot black.
touche. And to that, I am sorry. I realized that my actions brought you to this situation. So I am taking responsibility for that, and I'm sorry for that. I I shouldn't have went all in like that. I panicked. You know, the scenery, it reminded me of Argos, and
Yeah,
when I was
funny.
a kid,
Actually,
I,
know that
I told
now.
myself I wouldn't do that. Huh?
Yeah, so we kind of know that intimately and familiarly now. We know everything about you, Ken.
Ken, can
It's
you roll me a
weird.
perception check really quick? Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt, but there's one thing I do want to see.
Okay, perception -4.
Yes. Just still at
Still
30.
a 20.
20, hell yeah, get it.
Oh boy. All right. As you're talking to Rose, you're kind of, I mean, it's a intimate conversation. You're looking into their face, and then you realize, I want to get this right. Your scar is on the right side, right?
Right eye.
Yeah.
Right eye. Yep.
They have one that looks like a mirror of yours. It's on their left eye, but it's the same kind of arced scar.
Oh,
There's
really?
there's also like a little shatter of platinum through their eye too.
Forgot about that. Yes, you did say that.
Rose, what happened to you?
Bringing you back was more than I thought it would be. More than I thought we were just going to find a wish spell, find a true resurrection spell, bring you back, no muss, no fuss. And Arturia brought us to, I don't actually know where. We fought a bunch of dragons, we collected bits of your soul. And for a little while until we finished and it faded, we were you. We saw everything you saw, we experienced it as you, and it was really fucking weird.
Um, I'm sorry you had to see all that. I try not to open up that deep, because I mean, you saw.
I don't think anybody wants anybody to know them at that level.
Yeah. But okay, well, again, I apologize because
It's no,
my,
it wasn't
my
your fault.
decision. I mean, I still feel responsible. My decision led you to do this, so I feel partially responsible for it.
We
And
know why you did it though. And it's not, I don't know that any of us would have made a different decision.
all right. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you straight up, I got your back because you and I both know you're gonna have to undo the spell or tell them or however you get the spell. I got your back, okay? Then it's gonna sting. It's gonna sting. But
Yeah.
with you owning up to what you did, it's gonna help a lot. And this is gonna be a good lesson to better yourself. and to analyze. It'll give you a good chance to analyze and follow through with decisions from now on. And if you have some concerns, I'm here for you.
I can't promise that this will be the last stupid decision I make either way.
And
But
that's
please-
why I'm here.
Yeah, please don't die anymore. So that you tell me that.
I don't want to make promises because the job we do, we should get hazard pay for, but unfortunately we don't.
I mean,
I mean,
I think
we
that's
kind of
what
do.
we earn.
Yeah,
from
I mean we
the
kind
fight.
of, but I don't want to make a promise I can't keep. So what I'll do this. I will do my absolute hardest to make sure we stay alive, or I stay alive, so I can so I can watch your back
Everyone else.
and see you thinking about making a decision. I will analyze it and make sure it's not a stupid decision.
Well, let's be real, they'll all be stupid.
Yeah, well, I'll be there to make it less stupid.
It's fair.
I'm gonna walk up and hug Rose.
They'll just stand for a moment, like a little shocked, and then hug him back.
Family.
Yeah.
All right, so
Okay.
are
So
we pulling the Band-Aid before or after dinner? Because I'm hungry.
right. I'm gonna go with after dinner. Also, there are ways to just break it. I don't know any of those spells per se. I could ask Taz or Odardi if they know them, or if you think it would be better just to say it. I don't know if that would just cause weird, like, memory dissonance.
Yeah.
But if you know remove curse,
Yeah, no.
okay.
I mean, well, you would know Emmeline also knows remove curse, but she's
Yeah,
back in.
she's half a world away.
I think Arturia had it. I know she didn't have. I'm looking for.
She didn't have greater restoration, but I could also ask, like, Taz if she has remove curse or greater restoration.
Taz did not.
Okay.
Because I looked on Taz. Taz was more of a
Right.
like wanderer.
Battle.
Yeah. Doesn't look like Arturia had it that day either.
All right. What about Aerith? Where is Aerith? Rose will kind of look around and then start casting message.
Aerith does not have remove curse either.
Why?
All right, note to self: curse you guys.
Apparently.
Note to self: don't touch anything new.
All right,
Good to know for the future. Everything is off limits from here on out. The campaign is just us standing still. Got it.
Well,
If you have to touch it, wear gloves.
Oh no.
okay. If nothing else, I guess I can fix it tomorrow, but I feel like the conversation should at least happen today. I also have I actually have a couple things for you because all of your stuff is gone. Hold on. And they'll dig through their bag real quick. Just in case. Hopefully not just in case for our party, but just in case. I'm gonna hand Ken a Iron Stone of Protection,
Okay.
a Ring of Fire Resistance, and the Ring of Spell Storing,
Okay.
which currently has, what does it have in it? It has 1 cast of Absorb Elements and 2 shields.
Yeah, that was Robert's, right? Or that was the one he was using back in the day? Yeah.
I think so, before it kind of passed down.
Yeah.
And then I will hand him Asdaja.
That's right. You did get his stuff.
Aja.
All
Don't
right.
remember
Like,
what happened to this.
Huh?
Don't remember what happened to this. Where'd you guys get
Oh.
this from?
You gave it to Robert, and he gave it to one of his lackeys, and then I might have convinced him to just give it to me.
by using the same spell that we're
Yeah.
You know what? Okay. Iron Stone of Protection. Ring of Fire Resistance. And then what is it? Ring of Spell Storing.
Yes. And that can hold 5 total spells. It has 3 in it right now. Like 3, or it can hold up to like 5 spell levels worth of spells. So I guess it has 4 in it right now because it has 2 first levels in the second. Or are those all first level? This might be first level.
Elements is a second, I think, right?
No, I got Absorb Elements. Absorb Elements
First? Okay.
Okay, so
Yep.
then
I know
it
that
has
they're both solid.
Yeah, 3 first levels, so you can put 1 second level or 2 more first levels into it.
You do need a set of tools to cast.
Yeah,
You
I
Right.
got.
Don't
Or
have anything
actually,
like that
no.
for you, I think.
Hold on. Oh wait, no, you don't have any armor yet. I don't. Can you
No.
cast through? Can you cast through a weapon, or do you have to use your armor?
Either tools or I gotta use my armor.
Okay, that's what. Yeah, because the battlesmith can cast through a weapon, so you could technically do it through his die.
Yeah.
But for armor, okay, yeah.
I don't have
Yes.
any sets of armor.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna have to go on a shopping spree. I'm sorry.
We have some money left, not as much as we started with. But once we get back to Iriabor, I'll do my best.
Well, I'm gonna have to go back there anyway because since I lost everything, I gotta get a new ID tag.
Oh. Oh man.
Right? I was trying to think of a way to preserve it, and there's no way it could have been preserved. That was
Right, it would have
low
just
level
gone.
enchantment. It just.
Man, we've had those things for a while now.
Yeah. Yours is beat to hell. Yours and Eodos
Yeah.
and Aerith's is really that thing is because they're hard to damage being magical, but they do
Take a lot of
some
damage.
damage.
All right, let me scroll back. Trying to remember my shopping list. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, I think you pinned it.
Yeah. Ken, you see Ken like tilt his head left and right, like adding things to his shopping list in his head.
Do we have whatever happened to Robert's old ID tag?
He left it.
He left it.
Yeah.
Well,
it was
yeah, I know
left
he left it,
with
but
stuff.
like, who has it?
It was in the money bag. So whoever took all the money.
Yeah.
Probably me.
I'd say you
Question mark?
probably have it as like.
Okay.
'Cause I
Well,
don't think
as
anyone
a
specifically took it, but he did leave it for the
right.
party. So
Yeah, I do remember that. That's why I was asking. Just I guess as a temporary, then Rose will pull it out of their bag and kind of just hold it, and then hold it out to Ken. It was Robert's, but until we can get you your own, you could borrow that one.
Sure, but is it a full access badge?
I think
It was a
Robert
full
had a
member.
full one. Yeah.
You should have.
The only ones who didn't were Hibisia and Nobody.
Yeah, Hibisia, Nobody, and Arturia were your interns because
Yeah.
Robert
and
was a full
Arturia.
member.
Yeah, Robert set the precedent for us to not just hand
Right.
people full access because, you know, he kind of went rogue on us.
Okay, fair enough. I'll hang on to this until we can get back to the city.
Yeah.
Maybe. Ooh, maybe that'll be good too. He's like also talking to himself. So
As you guys are talking to each other, Aerith comes. Well, he'll first go find Eodos and let Eodos know that dinner is ready. It will be served momentarily. So if we wanted to meet in the dining hall, we can all talk as a party. And Aerith is now here.
Hi.
We're currently
Hey.
cooking his food.
Yeah, you took over for dinner.
Oh, did I?
because It was an easy way to just get you out of the scene. You were helping. Well, you weren't cooking. Okay, you had 2 Rose maids cooking for you, but you were directing them as to what you wanted for dinner.
So, okay. Just catch me up. We got Ken back. We went into the mansion. What happened?
I mean, you got Ken back, caught Ken up on the last week or so's affairs.
Okay.
Up to speed. Rose talked to Taz McKella, and then the mansion was opened. You guys came in, and Aerith went to go start making dinner. Rose came in to speak with Ken, and that's pretty much it.
Ooh, perfect.
So,
Conversation
Yeah.
time.
That's pretty much- yeah, so it'll be fun. I was just telling everybody that Aerith was running around to Eodos and Nobody to let them know dinner was ready, and that,
Yes.
it was time to gather in the main hall and eat. So you had stepped into the training hall and let Eodos know, running over to Nobody, you let him know, and then as you open the door, you see Rose and Ken talking to each other. Things seem amicable. Rose is holding out Robert's old Guardian or Wanderers of Starlight dog tag towards Ken, giving that to him. And yes, Rose told Ken everything. Figure out how to tell everybody. And we discussed the various ways to remove the modified memories and realized that we
Right,
don't
but
have any of
nobody
them until
has-
tomorrow.
Nobody has removed curse or greater restoration.
Nope.
Right? Come on, man.
That was like Artoria if she had it for the day.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, well, she flew away because she's.
I
dragging
kind of
out
figured
and-
now.
Yeah, she gave the
Poor.
core of Soul Shatter to Ken
Ooh.
and went to go stretch her wings.
At least Ken has a weapon.
Well,
No,
Soul Shatter's
the
broken
core-
right now.
Oh, well,
it's just
did.
orange.
he
But he does have
have
his
a gun
Dia.
though.
Yeah, he has a gun.
Okay.
They gave him Ascot back.
He's got a gun.
He's got a,
He's got a gun.
You know, I can trust Ken not to introduce himself that way to everybody, though. There's that. I got a gun! Yes, you do, sweetie. You have 4 of them. Anyway,
Okay.
you alert the 2 of them that it's dinner time.
Hey, I'm gonna need your assistance adding Esdaya to my inventory.
Alrighty.
Oh, it's Ken's stuff broken already.
He lost everything.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I kind of
Well,
figured
it's also
that.
because, like, you can't just drag and drop it out of the compendium. I mean, you can, but you have to drag and drop a light crossbow +2 and then call it Eshdaya.
I just added, or I just changed, because, you know, my rapier is the intelligence rapier, so I didn't even bother dragging and dropping,
I saw.
yeah, I just manually added it. I was just like, prevents it from being broken, so.
It does. It does.
Hopefully.
All right.
Hopefully. Hasn't broken yet.
All gathered here within the dining hall. Dinner is served by the made versions of yourselves, and it smells really good. And given the day's events going through the dungeon and putting Ken back together, you are all ravenously hungry. You eat, and as you're kind of finishing up, push your plates away, feel contented there, and I will leave the scene to the party.
Oh boy.
Goes my
Rose
plan.
just like looks at Ken.
Ken looks back at Rose.
Oh, man.
No, you tell him. No, you tell him.
Yeah, pretty much.
They'll just sigh and like push their stuff away and just look at everybody. Just okay. Family meeting.
Okay.
Dinner's kind of already a family meeting, but go ahead.
Yeah, well, after dinner talking, family meeting. Oh God. Okay.
What did you do?
Oh yeah, what did I do? What do you think I did?
I don't know. Something bad.
Ellen.
Because apparently you're having a hard
Correct.
time.
Congratulations, you win.
Oh,
Did
God.
you steal something from Robert or from Zarya while we were in the portal to hell? Did you
No,
cause some problems that we don't know of?
no, she didn't steal something. She pretty much just asked something back, so it wasn't so much stealing.
You know, I convinced him very gently that he felt bad that they had it and it was Ken's and we care about it very deeply, and he gave it back.
You modified his
that's
memory
my
to
point.
convince him.
Maybe. All right.
Anyway,
I know.
what is it that you need to tell us?
I know you guys have been asking questions and been a little bit confused about things that have happened recently with Ken and in general. Okay. After Ken did the whole stuff with Ascalon and he was done, and
Ken will slowly get up and just slowly just put his hand on Rose's shoulder.
fuck. Things didn't go the way you think.
What do you mean?
It was a lot rougher than that. And I just wanted to help. I just wanted to help. I wanted Aerith, that it broke you to see Ken break himself. It broke all of us. And it was really hard to deal with and to see, and I just wanted it to stop. I wanted you to be fine. I wanted everything to be okay. I changed what happened. Ken didn't go off on a mission. Ken exploded himself.
So I think this is like the part where the memories are.
Things are probably complicated in your brains at the moment.
My head hurts.
Eidos is just gonna calmly, like, very calmly, just ask, "What did you do?"
I changed.
You altered our memories.
I gave you something easier to deal with until I could figure out how to fix the problem. Until I had a minute to sit and think and know that we had other things that we also needed to do, like take care of Robert. And I thought it would be fine. I thought maybe we'd go and talk to Namur, or I would go and talk to Namur and get the wish sword, wish him back. And Arturia told me it wasn't that simple. I didn't mean to hurt any of you. I wanted the opposite. I wanted to help. At least
So
you wouldn't be.
You wanted to help, but your first instinct was to take everything out of our hands.
To change it, just until I could find a solution. If I did it myself, and then you wouldn't have to worry. You wouldn't have to stay up all night crying or beating a dummy until your hands bled.
Rose, that's how people deal with loss. Okay?
But if there was no loss to deal with, then you wouldn't have to do it.
There was, though. All you did was take away our ability to deal with the loss. Eidos is really trying to stay calm right here.
Look,
Memories are make us who we are. You can't just take that away from someone, Rose.
Thought I could put it on pause just for a little bit, and that would be alright.
Why didn't you just consider just simply talking? You know, waiting for us to process what had happened.
What was I supposed to say?
Nothing.
That
You wait. Everyone deals with things their own way. You don't take it away from them.
We could have discussed whether to, you know, try and get Ken back, or to deal what needed to be dealt with. Instead, you decided to take the reins, alter our memories, and have us forget that Ken passed away.
I know.
Look, I get where you're coming from in terms of the situation. Yes, I guess we were all a mess, or at least I'm assuming Eidos and I don't know how Nanashi would have reacted, but
Well, the problem is, I don't even know if I was a mess, because apparently I wasn't trusted enough to make a decision for myself.
I don't know what to say. It's not that I didn't trust you. It's that I figured not having to deal with it was better.
But now you created another problem. a bigger one than just us
Well,
trying to deal with a death.
I mean, now he's back.
That's
And what would
not
have
the
happened
point.
if you would have died, or something would have happened to you, and we wouldn't have remembered? What would have happened then, Rose?
I don't know. I mean, I told Arturia about it when she came to help, and I called her to help.
So you'll call in outside forces to help, but you won't tell your own friends.
Yes, I will call in outside sources who don't... I like Arturia. She doesn't matter to me as much as you do.
Then how could you ask her for help and just completely ignore us?
Because you mattered more, and your happiness mattered more.
So all those
That's not real
times,
happiness. That's happiness built on a lie.
it's fabricated happiness. So all those times I tried messaging Ken, none of them went through. And it wasn't because he wouldn't accept the messages, it was because he
He was
couldn't.
dead. Well, he was deader than dead. Apparently.
Rose.
I know. I've already been told off a couple times now about how about how telling you would be the easier solution. And I think that's bullshit. But
It's not a
I
matter
didn't
of
say it
the
was.
easier solution, it's the better solution.
is it?
Yes! I don't want people fucking with my memories any more than I've already had them.
Especially
Yeah,
since
like-
he just got his back, I think.
Yes,
That
mostly, kind of, sort of. Little
we,
bit.
like, at least a third of the party has had issues with their memory. And you had to know that this would not have gone well. This could only ever break bad.
and didn't really think about it in the moment. I just wanted
You just rushed ahead and did whatever you felt like. Because you
I
didn't
wanted
want
to
stop
fix
and
it.
think. But you didn't stop and think. In an attempt to solve one problem, you created more.
Yes.
Whereas we had your back in so many messed up situations. Would you put a fucking mask on in front of Ascalon? We still had your back. Why? You couldn't have a little bit of faith in us? The night our friend died, you didn't think that maybe we just needed a little bit of time to work through it? You can't just make everything better overnight. It never works that way. Nothing works that way.
I thought it would. I thought it would give me time to think.
You had
'Cause
time.
At that moment, I didn't have time to think. At that moment, it was death and destruction and panic and loss and pain. And I don't...
Why does your choice get to supersede ours?
Because if I could have made myself forget too, I would have. But I couldn't.
But we were never asked.
I know I couldn't ask. If I asked, then I couldn't do it, because then you would already know that...
You'd also say no!
Enos is gonna look at Rose like with the most serious expression he's ever had when they say if they could have made themselves forget to, they would have. It just don't ever say something like that again. Everything you go through, every experience, for better or worse, makes you who you are. You can't just undo who you are like that, even if in the short term you think it'll make you better.
I honestly don't know who I am. I can be anybody. I could leave right now and change and be a whole different person. And all I know is that I want to be with you guys, with my family, and now I don't know if that's even an option anymore.
Well, Rose, I told you my bit. That this is a fucked up situation. It was gonna hurt, but I think the first thing you need to do is obviously you understand where they're coming from now. I
I
think
guess.
you guess. Okay.
That sounded like the most disappointed parent response. Yes, okay.
Okay.
Oh, Rose. Oh, Rose.
I'm gonna get up out of my chair, walk over to Rose, grab their hand, and just be like, "Look, I don't want you to leave.
They
I
they
don't."
definitely flinch away when you reach for them, but
It's a gentle touch, gentle. Just like, look, I don't want you to leave. I don't think any of us want you to leave because you're a part of us. But you just have to consider the consequences of what your actions can do. You reacted to what happened to Ken, which is normal. But your type of reaction is just something that went too far.
Can I whisper nuclear option?
That. So,
again, kettle. But I know now. I know after everyone has told me. I don't, I don't make good decisions in general. And I don't really know how to not do that.
that's why it's good to talk to us before making those types of decisions. Yes, according to you, Eidos and I were not in the best condition. But if you had given us some time, like maybe let us go through the night to the next morning or even to the afternoon, so that you could talk to us, we would have come up with a better solution.
Okay. I can give you all the excuses in the world. I've never really had people to talk to before to fix things, and I fixed them myself. But I know it doesn't help. It'd be real easy if maybe you should just, beat me up. I know how to handle that.
That's
No one's
not
gonna
my
beat you up,
speed.
though.
So,
You fucked up really bad. I cannot stress how badly this is. But we are still a family.
and in my eyes, your punishment is the guilt that you did this. I know that's harsh, and it's more difficult than us just beating you up more than what anything in this world can do. So, that's your lesson. Okay? And I'm just tapping her hand, or cupping her hand in mine.
Edo's gonna take the mask off of his cloak and slide it across the table to the three of them. It's just, I'm gonna let
I'm
you
gonna
guys
grab it.
hold on to this.
Like, when it slides, I'm just gonna, like, put my hand on top of it to make sure it's being
not
held.
laughing at Edo's, like, I'm laughing at how quick Aurora was to jump on that. Because I didn't even have a chance to decide whether or not I was going to roll a die. He was like, grab it.
Because I know when somebody just isn't touching
Yeah,
it.
that was why I lit it and didn't just leave it on the table, because after he does that, he's gonna walk away. But I don't want the mask to potentially, because we're having some family drama, you know.
Alright. So Eidos passes the mask over to Aerith, steps up and leaves.
I feel like we need to talk about that in a minute, but this is not a good time. Okay. Eidos.
Just give him some time.
Pick a room. I'm gonna pick. Wherever he heads. I just needed the token.
If that happened again, would you have made the same choice, Rose?
I don't know. Maybe. I know that I know that the answer is learning from this experience. I don't know. Would I want to protect you still? Yes.
You need to learn to respect other people's wishes, and then nobody's also gonna walk out.
I'm gonna.
Edo's probably gonna go chill by this little water area, just sit and think a little bit.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna pick up the mask and just put it in Rose's hand. You've carried more than enough. This is another thing you have to carry. So.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna look at Ken, give him a big hug, because apparently he died.
You guys need to stop doing that.
Never.
When we die, we cause problems for all of us. It happens every time.
What do you mean? Everyone who's died has come back. There's no problems.
That's true.
Never
no
punished.
lasting psychological damage.
And then
You're
I'm gonna
all
walk
tip-top
out,
shape.
and I'm also gonna go to this little pond area because it reminds me of Lintier.
I'll be honest, I didn't even see this out here until just now, and it's super dope. This is like a perfect place to just kind of chill and mull things over and not blow up at anybody, you know?
That is fair. That is
Oh
fair.
shit, that is nice.
Right?
It is really nice.
Alright.
Rose will just put the mask, like, secure it how they always do with Kaz's scarf
sash.
back where it was a long time ago.
Loop it through the various eyes, securing it tightly. Tie the knot that she had taught you.
And then they
Well,
just
that-
sit at the table, I guess.
Well, that went better
Poorly.
than I thought. thought,
Two different answers.
Well, I mean, they're both accurate because it didn't go great, but it did go better than he thought.
I thought at least one fist would be thrown.
That would have been easier to deal with.
Yeah, but sometimes easy is not the way.
Easy's the
Why
way.
can't easy just be the way? God, I just want easy to be the way.
That is not the way.
Then
Just once can things be easy.
You know the way.
and we, as a whole, never learn, and that leads to all sorts of problems.
Learning is hard.
Learning is hard.
Yeah, but hey, like I said, I'm here. If you need to talk, if you want to learn anything new, I'm here for you. I mean, and like I said, just give them time to, vent and think on things, and we'll pick things up first thing in the morning. Okay? If you need me, I'll be in the nearby study. I have some things that I need to think about.
Okay.
So, as you guys go into your evening, is there anything you guys want to do this evening before you turn in for your long rest, or what's the plan?
Would it be possible to start on the meditation that we talked about?
Yeah. Sure. Give me a wisdom check.
Your Ascalonian meditation.
This one okay, that's actually really solid. Notepad, so I can keep track of this because I haven't actually figured out the mechanical aspect of it, but I can at least. Okay. So as you head to this quiet workshop study that you've used in the past as like it's the southeastern turret. It has the large bed and then a big workshop area with a bunch of like alchemy tools and a small smithy. It's basically Ken's little workshop in the mansion. You sit down amidst the familiar surroundings and begin to reach into your mind. And the first thing that you do is that instinctual kind of like, hey buddy, but there's nothing. It's not that the power isn't there. You feel it. You feel it in every moment in walking. You feel this kind of like resonating around you, this keenness to the world. Especially here in the mansion, this magically manifested pocket dimension. It all kind of glitters and resonates a lot clearer than it used to. But that alternate personality that was Ascalon, that piece of him from when he manifested himself is no longer there. It's just you. And as you meditate, you feel the deep well of power and you feel it surge towards you, but you don't let it take you. You just let it kind of flow over and around you, and you spend the next what feels like 5 minutes, but it's actually about 2 hours of meditation feeling that power surging around you and kind of just growing used to it, like you would like the rushing of a stream. Before your leg starts to fall asleep and you're snapped out of that meditation and you kind of just stand up, shake the leg cramp off, but you feel a little bit more comfortable with that deep resonating power in there. But it is massive. It's like standing in the middle of a hurricane. And the more you try to lash out or move against it, the harder it hits you. But you find that in placidity, in that like peaceful moment, it sort of moves almost through you instead of trying to push you around or go around you.
Well, rip to alternate personality, Ken.
Now your alternate
Alright.
personality, Ken.
Dun, dun.
Guess I'll streamline my shopping list. Double check what materials I need. Ooh, I got some ideas as well. I guess I'll add that to my mental notes. I guess I'll get ready for bed then.
Okay. Sounds good. Anything anyone else wants to do?
Spell sniper training.
You head down to the training yard or over to the training yard and begin to practice your end of the day training. Trying to remember, you guys did start with training today. Yes, because you started in the mansion. So this would be at half, but you can still make progress towards it.
Okay.
All right, go ahead, roll me your intelligence.
Intelligence.
Ooh. Give me a d6.
Okay. I rolled. I didn't realize that I had 2 GMs still ticked.
Yeah. You
When
got
you
a
were
natural
dying.
1.
I got a natural 1.
That's
I mean,
unfortunate.
it makes sense now.
My thoughts were still on what we had survived
Things
and
are
Rose.
Yeah, very distracted. It's a lot on your mind. You try to focus your mind on your training, but you find yourself repeating the same tasks over and over again and not really pushing your boundaries. So you don't make it that much closer to your goal. You're just sort of like going through the motions.
Well then, time for bed.
Okay, you find your room and
Where was my room?
I
I was just thinking. Yeah, I don't.
It's on
The
the
only
second
one I
floor.
can. The only
This
one I
one
ever
makes so much sense.
assume is that big one for Ken. Yeah, the one with the workshop area kind of tied into it. But all the
This one
rest of
down.
I don't.
That one down here is Rose's.
The one in
Oh
the
wait,
southwest.
where was mine then?
This one.
Okay. I'm gonna freaking mark them.
Great.
Because I think the last time we were in here, which was after Ken's death, or at least that's what I remember, I slept here.
I think so.
All right, then I'll claim this one that you put me in originally.
I think nobody's been in a different room each time.
I think so too.
Oh god, I don't know which one to claim now.
This one room with the big skull up top. I kind of want that room.
This one, that's like the meeting chamber.
That's like a meeting chamber.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why you have a big dragon skull in the middle of it.
All right. In that case, I'll stay where I'm at.
The meeting chamber that we never use.
I guess
you
I'll
do
claim
most of your conversations around breakfast.
Yeah,
It's the
we're
official
food
meeting
motivated.
chamber. Yeah.
I guess I'll claim this one.
Okay.
Because it's got like a nice large desk for
Makes sense,
writing.
makes sense. Yeah.
I do like how there's also weapons in here.
Hey, I mean, you're kind of breaking into that with ever since going into blade singing. You are
Yeah.
somewhat martial. So okay. All right. So you find your room. Is there anything nobody wants to do, or are you just
He'd probably think, reflect on his memories and whatnot.
okay? Give me a wisdom check.
Should be good at this.
Okay. 21,
Hey.
not bad. You sit here in this quiet, comfortable little study room, staring into the flames and reminiscing. You've had some flashes of memories. Your interactions with Severin, both positive and negative. You try to kind of get the slideshow right in your mind, put them in the right order, and you know that you had been allies, you had been friends for a long time. You'd worked together. You feel that kind of familiarity there. You find vague kind of like those memories that you can reach. That you're like, I know I did this thing. I know I went to this place, but to tell you the whole story of it would be really. I can give you the broad strokes. Your broad strokes are even broader at this point, but they're starting to fill themselves in. And You stare into the flames and remember that he had always kind of associated with fire. His fighting styles, his magic, it always kind of burned in the same way that you had moved like water. It's one of the reasons you worked well as a team. You kind of complemented and balanced each other. But as you're staring into these flames and recollecting, there's a moment in your history. You can't really pinpoint the exact moment, but you start feeling that his fire is burning out of control. He starts to talk about, how to put it, the purpose of your organization, of the Bureau of Interplanar Defense, and whether or not they're right. The people in charge, at least, are right to make the calls for the greater multiverse as to what poses these threats. He talks and kind of like starts going down this almost conspiracy theory like rabbit hole, and you feel yourself growing concerned for your friend who seems to be losing touch with a reality that you think is pretty firm. You know, that these people are doing what is needed to be done to protect the order, and he just keeps pushing against that. You get into a few fights about it, arguments, discussions that become heated and angry, and you guys storm off before having to return to work the next day and then work with each other as partners do. And so it makes the middle of this kind of tense as you're going from an old friend into someone who is growing into someone that isn't compatible with you anymore. You know, not like a good partner. And as you just find yourself staring into those flames and thinking on that, you start to think about, like, especially given the revelations tonight about trust and who you should be working with, and the allures of power and things that start to just take your mind in random directions, and you find yourself frustrated at Rose for changing your memories of Ken, knowing that you had just met him, and now you look back at that and you start to try to track that, put it all together with what they have told you and what you remember of it, and trying to find the seams of their magic. And so you just kind of go off into a bunch of different directions as you stare into the flames before probably just falling asleep or getting tired enough to just retire.
All right.
Okay. Rose.
They haven't really moved.
Okay.
They probably would just sit there. And whether they, I guess, at some point fall asleep or stay up the whole night.
All right, roll me a Constitution saving throw. You do manage to make it through the whole night. There are moments where you feel yourself start to nod off, but you just shake your head and you just don't want to fall asleep. You do take a level of exhaustion as you don't sleep at night, but all right. The rest of you finish your evening's rest, get your long rest, and wake the next morning back to the meeting room to have breakfast. Ken, you awaken to a small bundle laid at off the side of your bed that the servants had delivered in the night. Your clothing is ready. Your gear, armament, well, not armaments, but what clothing they could make has been made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, like, he's, like, the clothes you see in the illustration is what he's wearing. That's his, like, normal look from now. Black shirt, combat jeans, boots.
With the fur?
Yes.
With the goggles.
Boots with the fur. The goggles
Boots
are there.
with the
They do
fur.
make you the goggles.
The apple bottom jeans.
You all gather the next morning to find Rose still sitting where you left them, unmoved.
Rose, did
Breakfast
you
is
do that
served.
thing where you stayed up all night again?
Nah. Just got up early.
I know it's not gonna work, but I'm still gonna insight it.
Go for it.
I'm like, okay. Inside.
They seem pretty trustworthy.
That's your average. You're lucky you're eloquent. Like, alright.
Servant, can I get some coffee, please? Or some really strong tea? I don't think we have coffee in this universe. Tim's gonna make coffee.
And they should have coffee beans.
Yeah, they do. They come out of Schult. They're rare, but you guys have encountered them. I think one of the taverns has them. So because you've encountered it, the servant nods and drifts to the kitchen, returning with a steaming cup of coffee.
Sweet.
I'll just take some
Hell yeah.
tea.
A little saucer of milk and little like dish of sugars for you to put in there.
Hell yeah. Alright, I'll wait until everyone gets in before I say anything.
Okay. I think they're all.
We're all there.
Yeah, we're all there. You're because this map is like big. You're down in your room, and I'll put you up here because we're all in the.
Yep.
Right. So as you are all in the midst of breakfast, having trickled in one at a time, taking your seats. What's the plan for today?
Ken.
Alright, everyone.
That's the question. We gotta figure that out. We gotta get an idea where to head from here, right?
Yes.
We gotta figure out the best path to the Dell Lands now.
And I've been thinking about that for a good chunk of the night. I think we shouldn't rush to the Dale Lands. If it's what as you described to me, we need to be fully prepared because that place is a land of chaos, and I don't want to trip and fall into a wind tunnel.
Yeah. I mean, luckily we actually can't rush. We have no means of getting there realistically right now. So, like, first order of business has got to be figuring out a way to it.
Right.
And getting Ken some armor.
Right. Which is why
If we go back town, can get you geared up, and I put out a couple like asks about information on Dalelands and haven't heard anything back yet. So we could look into it.
and I'm glad you did that because that ties into what I had in mind. I think we should ask one of the leaders that we're cool with to call for another meeting. I think we should. Well, this is my thought. I think we should be a little more open with the information that we have in regards to the cult and their end game, and we should probably try to have them assist more than they have been. Because quite frankly, I'm of the mind that we've been fighting this war all by ourselves. It's time for them to pitch in.
I mean, everyone we've ever talked to, they kind of don't really. They either don't believe us or they don't recognize the actual threat. We could try again and try to push how serious we are, but
And I might have I might have a solution to that. I just need a little bit more time to streamline things. And if we can get that meeting rolling,
Alright, I do want to get out ahead of this. Because we have a bad habit of being really vague with this. Go ahead and break us down your plan. Let's
Alright.
stop with this hiding stuff from each other, even if it's non-malicious. So
Okay.
break it down
Yes.
for us.
And you're right. I apologize. So here's what I'm thinking. We'll get the councilwoman at Baldur's Gate. Ask her to use her authority to call for a meeting. Let her know that due to the information, we are afraid that it will be leaked to the cult. So we would ask to have it at a secure location. That secure location being Starfall. To ease her worries, I was going to suggest have her come to Starfall first to get the lay of the land, and to let her tell the other leaders that yeah, it's secure, and if they want to bring armed escorts to ease their mind even more, that's fine. What's 2 or 3 escorts? That's fine. We'll lay down what's going on there, and if they continue to be bullheaded about it, then
Can't we just bring a dragon with us? I feel like a golden dragon sitting there at the meeting telling them, no, your world's going to end unless you get your shit together would be get the point through really quick, I think.
I mean, I think the
yeah.
Cancer might be busy, but we could next best.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking. What's better than the gold dragon? Or what's more what's the word I'm looking for? What would get through the minds and hearts more than a gold dragon?
2 gold dragons.
An army of gold dragons.
Yes.
Realistically, though, you think it's silver? You think Arturia, or maybe Taz?
I feel
would be
like
willing to?
the silver dragon would be best because she wouldn't mince her words.
What about a platinum
mean-
dragon?
I don't know that we have one of those.
Let's not summon Ascalon again.
Yeah, so about that, the personality that took the name Ascalon, he's gone. So it's just me now.
That's good, right? Sort of.
But can you be a dragon without killing yourself again? Because we literally just got you back.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, last night, while I was, streamlining the plan and thinking about the shopping list, I actually kind of worked on that subconsciously. I might need a couple more nights to, train on it, but I think I figured out how to harness that side of me without major repercussions.
Are you
So
sure?
if push comes to shove, yeah, push comes to shove, and they're still being bullheaded, I think I could convince them.
I mean, the silver one, I think, would work just as fine as well.
I mean, she kind of just doesn't care about us in general. Do you think she would vouch for us?
She
I
doesn't
was
have to
thinking-
vouch
I was-
for us. She
Yeah,
just
I
has to
was-
vouch
we
for
could
the
go-
world ending.
Honestly, I don't know if she'd want to, but I mean, Arturia would probably be willing, and she's definitely a dragon. I don't think Oda Arleakarna would want to fuck with this, but I mean, she might. But I think we could
she gets
convince
to yell at you.
Arturia more, or Taz for sure, because she's super chill. Like, she seems pretty on board with not letting the world get wiped out. I mean, I'm not saying don't do it, Ken. I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna do it, let's at least give it a good 4 days for you to get over
Yeah.
your res
Just make
problem
sure.
before.
Yeah,
Make
yeah,
sure
no,
you're
no.
sure.
Yeah,
Please.
that's why I'm learning this meditation trick that I discovered last night. I'm not gonna just, you know, pull the trigger willy nilly. No, I learned my lesson, and I apologize, by the way, because of that.
Yeah, we just as a gang, we need to like consult each other more than we do moving forward. We kind of make some decisions for everyone and like that influence everyone on our own a lot.
Right.
So let's
Yeah.
let's just like start working together more than we have been. And Enos is gonna look at Ken and Rose directly because they were the two most recent culprits of this.
Yeah.
But it's you could tell that he's still mad, but he's trying not to like hold on to it. You know, it's gonna be something that probably gonna be there for a while, but he's trying not to like hold it against either of you.
Yeah, and you're right, man. And again, I'm so sorry about how that worked out. And you're right. I will be completely transparent with what I'm thinking with all of you from now on. You have my word. Next item on the list. What information, like I'm asking you guys, what information, if we can get this meeting cracking, what do we want to tell them? Obviously, we're going to tell them about the Colts end game, but are we wanting to tell them
Yeah.
anything else?
I mean, we've tried to tell them about Tiamat in general and gotten middling responses. I mean, that's the big thing, though, right? Is that if we don't stop them, that's endgame, right?
Yeah. Actually, now that I think about it, while I was thinking, it's kind of weird. I remember everything since I was 2 years old. I remember what
Yeah.
happened to Barrett.
So do we.
If we tell them that,
Yeah, we kind of saw everything.
oh, that's right. So you guys know. So
hmm
maybe we can also tell them that.
We can tell them your account of it and that we thought that they were doing the same thing in Lantier. That we know that he's headed to the Well of Dragons to do something.
Have you guys checked in on Garrett? I mean, I know it's just been like a crazy string of days, but when they pulled out, did he pull out too?
Giggity? Sorry. I had to.
I had meant, I guess, to dream him, but I kind of forgot.
Well, I guess.
Yep.
All right, Rose, your task is to ascertain Garrett's whereabouts. If he's still on the coast, we're gonna go after that fucker because he still has
Okay.
city.
Yeah, and I mean, we kind of know where they were if we wanted to start there.
I am of the mind we need to get the official support first. As much as I hate keeping Sid waiting, we need to put our foot down and let the people know what's really going on. Enough's enough.
Okay.
What's the spell that'll like cast you like a megaphone?
Thaumaturgy?
Thaumaturgy.
Yeah. I mean, at the very least, you can go around the cities just casting big old thaumaturgy.
Just,
If the officials,
That'll
if the
cause
officials want to keep the
panic.
people, yeah,
that's
it will
essential.
cause panic, but it will
We can
force the
we
officials
can
to have a response.
we can become those people that stand out on the corners with like
Yeah.
those signs they put over their
Doomsdayers.
yeah, the end is nigh.
The end is nigh. Tiamat
Well,
cometh.
Yeah, but be
Repent,
more,
sinners.
The cult
be
is
more
not to be
motivational.
trusted.
Be more motivational. Be like, take up arms and stand up and fight, rather than be like, oh yeah, you're all gonna die, or worse, hide it from the people that shit's going
Well,
down.
as hilarious
It's,
as that decision would be,
it's more of
change starts.
a red case scenario where it's like, all right, the officials won't do something about it. We're gonna let everyone know, and then they can decide.
Yeah, change starts from the top. So if we can convince them, then they can convince the people, and we'll go from there.
Okay, so we have 4 days essentially to let Ken recover, and I should give you time to not be exhausted, Rose. You can try to hide it, but I definitely saw you in the same spot when we left, so just a heads up. Get some sleep. Yes, we're mad, but nobody's like trying to kick you out or hate you.
How'd you know? It's a
But
joke.
just
It's a joke.
Jeez.
but
Yeah.
everybody needs to be at their best because shit's hit the fan. And like I said, yes, you fucked up. No, we're not suddenly not family. We all still care about each other. That's why it's important we don't do shit like this ever again. He's looking like,
Okay.
but we we kind of have a good little game plan going now. So in the meantime, while you guys are recovering and doing your thing, what should we be like looking into? What do you think we can do in this little bit of time to get ready to help?
Are you guys training on anything? Any new martial skills or magic skills you guys been working on?
Uh,
Yo.
Is
yeah.
there
Um,
anything,
Done in 4 days.
Yeah, I don't know if my
any
thing can
projects?
be completed in 4 days, but I guess we could try.
Training
Well,
montage.
if y'all want, how about we extend it to a week?
Do you want to run to like area board somewhere to get yourself hooked up with actual equipment now? If we're gonna be in
Yeah.
4 days, that I think that'll be a good idea to try to get you, armored back up so that
Yeah. Step
We should
one,
make a
get Ken's
checklist
stuff
of
back.
everything we need to get done so we don't forget.
Yeah, I gotta,
I would
I
love
gotta.
Free up
start something.
Ken.
I'd hate to
I
go to the
gotta-
Dale Lanes. We go to the Dale Lanes, we're like, oh shit, we forgot to get Ken's armor.
Okay, were you saying I would love a checklist?
Yes, I would love a checklist. That would be amazing.
Okay, I'm typing it up now. But
Yeah.
I also been thinking about some ways to improve my fighting capabilities. So I might need to take a trip to the library for references.
I mean,
If
we
you're
need
gonna
to
go to
go
the
there
library,
anyway.
yeah, I can
We need to
100%
figure
help.
out. Yeah, Aerith, I definitely. I mean, I don't know if it sounds bad. I don't know if I want you to help Ken, but if you could look into information about the Dale Lands. Not that I don't want you to help Ken, but I think we need to know what's up there and how to get there.
Well, yeah.
So maybe that should be your focus.
I mean, it will be if I can get as much
Okay.
information as possible about it.
Then good. Then we're on the same page.
Did you think
Am I
I was
also
gonna
needing
do
help with the
something
library?
else?
If you guys
Well,
need
no.
anything, and vice versa, just let me know.
Just thought that you said you were gonna go and help Ken with his stuff, like for combat stuff in the library. And not that that's not important, but
Make some armor out of books.
I'm pretty sure that is not what he meant. I'm just saying that I can help him search for things that he needs help searching for.
right. I just know that that takes time also. But it's fine. Whatever you want to look for.
What's everyone else doing?
I can try to find information out about Garrick and Sid.
He's Fogami.
I don't know.
Just,
what do you want me to do?
Be careful. Just be careful, because, like I said, you do look tired.
Yeah, a little bit. But it's okay.
Just,
Um,
I mean, is he like
also,
fucking like Severin? How does he fuck back with you whenever you peek in on him?
no, he gets really upset and like, what's the word? Freaked out whenever I do it to him. It's kind of funny, honestly.
Okay, well that's better than just that. Like I said, be careful. But it would be a good idea to try to get an idea where he is, because if they pulled out, they might, like, him and Sid might not still be where they were. They might have moved. They might have left entirely.
Right.
Ida's gonna look at Ken and just, worst case scenario, Sid might have been killed. So we need to be prepared for that.
Yeah,
So,
I thought about that option, and
If
yeah,
we find his
I'm ready.
body, we could bring him back.
yeah, that was what I was gonna follow that up with, because it's heartbreaking when any of us die. But we are at a point now where death, I don't want to say it's not a big deal, but it's not really a big deal. We have the means
Mom,
to
you're not
fix
a
it
big
for the
deal no
most
more.
We
part.
have the technology.
You can't stop me, Mom.
Yeah,
But,
I see where you're coming
but
from.
yeah, because I know it's going to be hard seeing somebody that you care about. And he could be, I don't want to say fine, because obviously he's being tortured and held captive. He could still be alive, and it's no problem. I just don't let it work you up if we get there and something has happened, because at this point it might take us a little bit, but we can reliably fix a lot of these problems now. Like when we first started out, none of this seemed possible. When we were running through a field to Greenest to see a fucking dragon for the first time, none of it seemed doable. But now, like, it's bad to say anything seems possible, which is a problem.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm ready if that should come to pass. And the only thing we can do now is just prepare. And
Yeah. Regardless, we're gonna kill that motherfucker. So, like,
Oh, yeah.
don't worry
Yeah.
about. Don't worry. Yeah, you're gonna get an opportunity to fuck his whole world up.
And we're gonna
Nobody's
help.
gonna take that from you.
Yeah, oh no, absolutely. He's getting put in the dirt.
It ain't gonna be messy.
I also have,
Okay.
I guess, another thing. What do I do with this? Or can we trust the dragons with it? And Rose will take out the Tiamat flail.
Oh,
I don't
You
really
had that
want
on
this
you, too.
anymore.
You had that wrapped around you.
If you want it, I'll take it. I passed the mask off. I don't know if I'm in a point where somebody messing with my head's gonna work in my favor, so I don't think I'm the best to have the mask. But at the very least, if you need me to take the flail back, I can do that. Or we could pass it off to the dragons, or...
Well, that's what I was like. Would it be better for us to still hold on to it and I have no problem with giving it to you.
Would
back to
any
you,
of us
guys.
actually use it?
And can
I
destroy it.
wouldn't. I don't know. I guess. Did you?
I mean, we're
Ken,
here
do you
at
even-
the mount. We're at the mountain right now. Could we
Right.
see if we expose it to that gate? If we
Well,
could try
I'll
to
actually-
purify it?
I'll actually give it to Ken first because I actually don't know if you know about it because I think we got it after you
No, we got-
died or
No,
like,
we got it before.
before?
We got it
Right
before he
before
died.
Okay.
Ariel was using it in
Okay.
that fight, yeah.
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 Right.
Uh,
So I'd pass it to him if he knows anything about it or what we could possibly do with it.
quite frankly, my first instinct is to fucking destroy this thing. But
Yeah.
if you can
If we
purify it or seal it, then we can give it a shot.
Yeah, I mean, we're at the perfect place to attempt it, you know. So even if it doesn't
Yeah.
work, you or they can potentially destroy it if they know how. But like, this is the perfect. We don't get out here very often because we don't just have an easy way to get here. So now's the perfect time to just see if we could fix it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I wanted to bring it up.
You guys have your game plan together?
Yep.
All right. Gathering yourselves, you step out into Protanther's court once again. Odari Leocarnis has left, but Tasmakella is still sitting in her chair. She has moved. She's been doing things. She's just back where she was when you left her, as they normally are in their thrones. And as you start stepping out of the door one by one, she greets you and kind of like waves over Rose. I'm gonna roll an insight check for her. Roll me a persuasion or deception, Rose.
For just
Your general, like, or if you're trying, how do you look, and are you trying to hide it?
for her probably not really trying to hide it.
Okay. Well, as you approach, she just sort of smiles down at you, seeing how tired you look, and looks at everybody else and the general kind of air of the party, and she smiles and goes, "Everything okay?"
It's maybe questionable. I think it went worse and better than it could have. They didn't kill me.
They
That's
didn't
good.
kill me. No, you're just suffering from the guilt. That's worse than that. That's worse than that death. Blah, blah, blah.
As
Yeah.
you all kind of step out.
I could take a punch, but this.
This is in your heart and your soul. Oh God, there's a dragon.
Arturia lands
Hi,
with a
Turner.
and kind of like shakes herself. Now, Kent, as a player, do you like? I don't know. So all the other ancients take on humanoid, like half-elven type forms. Is it important to you that Arturia's other form stays a half dragon?
Not really.
Dragonborn.
Honestly, I saw if she would have. Honestly, like her first iteration that I thought of, I was gonna want her to be a silver half dragon, like human half
Mhm.
dragon, silver half dragon. So
I just need to get her.
Did I give Ken his sword back? I just remembered that.
Yes,
Okay.
I believe so. You did that at the end of the last game.
Okay,
yeah,
I
when
just
he
want to make sure.
resurrected, the sword kind of- when he got resurrected, you said the sword kind of like flew back into
Yeah.
Ken's hand.
It was his.
Okay.
It belongs to Ken.
I wasn't sure. I just have to make sure.
Yeah. There are not two of them. I need to find the part that is-
Aerith is secretly the villain of the campaign, and he's trying to take all of Bahamut and Tiamat's artifacts for himself.
Yeah,
Just
the
see
whole
me
set.
sitting in the chair at the end. I am the Senate. Sorry, that's a joke. That would. the
Finally get down to it. And let's just do it.
Damn it!
Do it. Get it.
It's like I'm not just level 20. I'm level 50. You still one
Where's
shot
her
me.
clone armor?
Fuck.
Refresh. There we go. Okay. She will shake her large dragon form and step forward, shifting down into a
Oh god.
whoa, that's looking huge. To a smaller half-elven woman.
She's pretty.
Up for the rest of you. Well, you
That's a
took
new
your time,
appearance.
but I've procured the spells from Lord Null. If you have memories that need adjusting, and she looks over at Rose and kind of smiles.
If you can,
Well,
yes.
It's up to them. I'm going to trust that they know.
I would like to
Or
have my
want.
memories back. My original
Yes.
Yeah.
memories.
Yeah.
Previous memories as well, if you can.
See, well, that might prove a little bit more difficult depending on how you lost them, but I can certainly try. Let's see, where is Curse? I just want to make sure there's nothing else associated with it.
Rose like circles around the other side, further away from the party, like to the other side of Taz, and just kind of like puts their head on her shoulder.
There's finally a crystallizing moment in Taz's eyes where she, like, her eyes go wide. She looks over at Odari, or at Arturia, as Arturia casts Remove Curse 3 times. And first Aerith, then Eodos, then Nobody. Your memories of that night are returned. And the false memories kind of just dissolve like muck in a drain until they're just gone, drifted out of your mind through the magical incantation from Arturia. She looks over at Rose and smiles. There. That should feel better. Taz looks down at you with wide eyes, and then just kind of like closes her eyes, and then just like puts her hand on your shoulder and just squeezes tightly.
Just see Aerith breathing heavily and then tears coming down his face. Oh my god.
Normal reaction when such things are returned. Well,
Okay.
Wanderers of Starlight. I am going to stay here for the time being and take my mother's role as protector of the mountaintop while she assists Lord Pratantha. If you need anything from me, please feel free to reach out.
Well, we were just gonna ask you to leave.
To leave,
Yeah. Thanks again, Arturia, for everything.
of course. I should thank you. You've all taught me much and given me a interesting challenge to rise to. I will be keeping my eye on all of you and am invested in the future that you hope to save.
Yep. While we're out here, please don't freak out. But my friends and I got this. We was wondering if we could purify it or seal it.
Or destroy it.
Yes, I mean, I've been thinking of that. We can try. I can attempt to channel. Let's see, what is a alright level? Oof.
I mean, give me a couple days of meditation and I could
Me.
probably destroy it, but we got some stuff to take care of.
She kind of like puts her hand steepled in front of her face. I can attempt to channel a very powerful restorative spell into the flail, but I would need to draw upon the light of the mountain, and we'll need your assistance, Ken.
Okay. Sure.
Like as Ascalon or as Ken?
As Ken, I do not wish to push such things. Ascalon is a power that none of us truly comprehend, and to rush into it is to rush into death.
Yeah, please don't break our boy again.
Yes.
I simply need him to assist me with opening the door, and for him to hold the TM or the flail. Well, actually, she was going to come to you. You kind of got to stand in front of the door, and to hold the flail for me while I attempt this.
Any way I can help, because I I like lift both my hands. I have an artifact of Bahamut. So
Oh.
Possible the truth could help in shattering. Yes, join us, Aerith.
okay.
I'll send both Ken and Arturia a bardic inspiration.
Okay. Let's do this. I need Ken. Can you roll me two d20s? Just a d20 at advantage. And Arturia's going to do the same.
I want a
Mm.
2d20. Shit.
Bardic inspiration.
Oh, the bardic inspirations. Yes. So add a d10.
Oh my god, Kate.
Hey, you know what? Arturia still had 19.
That's
Okay.
It's
better.
true.
19 and 17. Okay. All right. Okay. You hold.
And I add Flash of Genius. Oh man, it's so good seeing that again.
You can, because it's a this is technically a skill check. Yes. Okay. It gets
Another 5.
41,
Hell
right?
yeah.
41. 17, 19. Okay. You needed a 40. You needed a combined 40.
Oh
with
my
the-
Yes.
god.
As
Flash
you
of Genius coming back
did.
clutch.
Yay.
As you hold the flail in your hand, you feel Aerith behind you. Aerith, you have this comforting, like, you and Ken have been through a lot together, and there's this like bit of comfort in the presence there. You feel the bangles on your arm start to resonate. Ken's sword begins to glow, the runes all alighting, the white and black ones now glowing with a deep burning flame, like a white flame out of it, and then a almost dark purple flame out of the black rune out of his sword. That's just tucked into a belt at his waist because he doesn't have a sheath for it at the moment. Arturia begins to cast the spell, and as Ken, you drift your consciousness back, you feel the door, and you can feel what lies beyond it. You feel it not as a place to go, but almost like home. It's like going home to a home you've never really had since you lived mostly on the road. So it's a really strange sensation, but you feel it, and as you focus on it, you all see the door crack open ever so slightly. The platinum chains across it go taut as the door stretches against it, and a single beam of light stretches out over past Protanther's throne and lands on the flail of Tiamat. And as you bask in that light, Ken, you shift your stance ever so slightly and feel as the flail begins to crack like burning paper until it's blown away in a cloud of black Icarus mist that lets out this ephemeral
Ugh.
as it is dissipated into the ether around you, and you stand there looking down at your hands empty as the flail of Tiamat has been destroyed.
Hell yeah.
Ooh.
Nice.
By the way, 10 out of 10 for that sound.
Thank you. I really, those are some of my favorite sound effects, and I haven't been able to do it since the Three Sorrows, and it's really rough on my throat, but I love doing them.
Just glad I caught it on recording.
Right? Arturia
Ugh.
kind of closes her eyes, finishing casting the spell and focusing the energy into that beam. The doors close and light fades. She looks down. We are truly entering a new age. She looks at Ken, and there is reverence. There is a like almost a look of passivity, and she lowers her head slightly. I stand at your service, Ascalon.
I'll just like give her some head pats and a quick soft hug.
Head pat the 700-year-old dragon, and she'll
Yeah.
move over to her mom's throne.
It's like when Ken pats her head, you just see Aerith like in those anime moments of just Aerith with like a what are you doing face, just like peeking from behind him.
She did not expect that, and kind of like walks away like, yes, okay, good, of course.
I mean, like,
Right.
that's like Ken doesn't
I
really
know.
see the dragon the same way as other people would. Like, to Ken, that's his niece. So,
Yeah. It's perfect. I love it.
I mean,
It's so
she's
good.
like she's my 700-year-old niece, but she's my niece.
It's true.
Right.
It is very true.
All right. Well, that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
All right.
I also I hate to ask more of you guys, but I know I know things are spread a little thin. There's just two of you. Would one of you be willing to come with us to Starfall in anticipation of trying to convince the general populace of the imminent danger of everything?
Or a second option I just thought about. Do you mind sending a representative at the least? Because I know there has to be two here at all times. So
Right.
Ew.
Or just call what's their face back and have Eleuthera?
Eleuthera,
Yeah,
Yes.
have them do it. Let's stay here.
when is... Taz kind of looks down at you and is like, this is all sounding very familiar to me. I think this is how we met, isn't it?
more or less.
Isn't
I was on my way to the Council of Waterdeep, and you came here
Yeah.
first. When is,
Kinda-
when is this? We could potentially call for Eleuthera to come back. He's there
Well, it's not official yet. We still need to head down to Area
sometime
4
soon.
Okay.
for
Yeah.
I am more than
I-
happy to. And Arturia will
I
also...
definitely would love it for it to be you.
That's what I might do. Arturia will also kind of chime in. I am also happy to make the trek there and offer what aid and counsel I can. But as you said, we do need to have two here on the mountain, so we would need time to get Eleuthera back. Let us know when this is, and one of the two of us can go.
Call Eleuthera, tell him to get his ass back here, and then tell Namur to stop playing with his toys and come back. I know Protanther's busy.
Well, Namur is actually... it's all very complicated. Namur is with Protanther, and Eleuthera is keeping his eyes on Galandar at the moment, so... We'll
Well,
call him
things
in.
are maybe more important than Galandar. I know it is important.
It is. I agree, and we will call Eleuthera back so that they can be here when one of us needs to leave. Just let us know when you have a date and time, okay?
Can do.
will do. All right, everyone. Area 4.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to remember. Arturia did have one. Arturia is going to, as you begin to cast your teleportation circle, Eodos, as the circle is cast, you look over at Arturia, and the last thing you see is she's fiddling with the little tag. I think she had an intern's tag, right?
Yeah,
Or
Yeah.
she did.
Yeah. The little
She never
intern's
got
tag.
a real one.
And she's not giving it back. She's just sort of like, she's got it in between her thumb and forefinger, and she's watching as you all step through the portal to Area.
Before we leave, as like everyone else steps through, and like the last second, Rose will turn and like they just reach forward, grab Taz by the face, and give her like a long kiss before they run for the portal before it closes.
She kisses you back, and then there is a look of shock on her face as you pull away, and dart through the portal, knowing it lasts only 6 seconds, so you can't really take your time. But you all emerge into the familiar guild hall. Oop, that's Scornoble, not Erebor.
We end up in Scornoble.
You
Oh,
end
Oh
up in
God.
Scornoble.
This is the
Oh.
moment Ida's pranks everyone, and we're going. Gotcha.
surprise!
Checkmate.
Fuckers.
Checkmate. All right.
I need to put my cloak on real quick.
Okay. You throw your coat on, covering yourself, and dart through into the into the guild hall. And as you guys discuss what you will be doing here in Erebor, I really gotta pee.
Okay.
So I'll be right back.
Oh,
Ken token.
I figured it's gonna add her tag to the horde.
Yeah, she's gonna wear it for a while, and it
She'll always be a novice member.
yeah.
An intern.
She's always our intern.
Right?
Yep.
I appreciate that. She appreciates
Yeah.
that.
Right.
She had
And I
fun.
mean, when we get Ken's tag remade, I think nobody. Did you ever like Rose told you to go and get like a real one from Chad, but I don't remember if he was there.
He
I have a
wasn't
real
that
one.
night, but he did get it during that downtime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll be right back.
Alright, was there anything else we needed, like upgrade wise? Since we're gonna have a couple days.
I
Did
show
anybody have
Ken-
anything they needed?
I show Ken my makeshift gun, and I'm just like,
Right. Aerith needs to make his gun. Ken needs an entire new arsenal. I think I was good on everything.
it's like once my gun is finished, I'm gonna need to talk to each and every single one of you because I want to try something.
Okay.
You're gonna shoot us with your gun.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Aerith is the evil overlord at the end.
Yep.
And
He
it's
is
not
the
just
big
gonna be a
bad
simple
evil
pistol.
guy.
It's just gonna be ginormous or just like a multitude of rifles everywhere.
That sounds like a lot.
Where's your army of clones?
You will never know.
Where's your clone?
It's
Where are
Lintier.
they, Aerith? Oh no.
That's why.
Zero.
That's why. See, the thing is, Aerith doesn't have an army of clones. He is a clone of an army, and there's a ton of Aeriths back there that we just didn't get an opportunity to see. His mom is the
There you
actual
go.
villain.
I'm just a byproduct.
That would track, I suppose.
Just fun. Just plot twist. I'm a failed clone of my mother because I turned out male instead of female.
Oh,
Alright,
no.
first order of business. Let's go see the guildmaster.
Okay. You head through the guild hall, past. Actually, hold on. So this was. Okay, I'm doing some math in my head.
Oh, we gotta determine
Got it.
if it's all repaired.
Oh well, no, the guild hall is definitely still under repair.
Okay.
It's close. It like the main structure of it is back together, and it was back together mostly the last time you guys were here in Erebor. It's been a few weeks.
Yeah.
They're working on like the final details now, putting the kitchen all back together and getting the cafeteria back and set up so that it could be usable. But it's at least weatherproofed, sealed, and just needs like painted and that final touch. And okay. As you step through the guild hall, it's quiet. There is a wizard on duty in the small teleportation room who kind of just like startles a bit as you step through the first few stepping through, and then gives you a nod recognizing you, and then kind of just like resettles back down into his chair and closes his eyes and puts his head on his hand. You step out into the guild hall, and it's quiet. It's really quiet. The arcane torches along the wall are lit and light it with a nice gentle light, and you rush through. Not rush, but you move through towards the main atrium. No one at the desk. You knock
Damn,
on
Chad.
Hadrian's door. No one in Hadrian's office. And then you realize that it's probably about 4 in the morning.
Ah.
Well, I mean, it's not unusual for him to be there at 4.
The fact that he's not is probably a good sign.
Yeah, he's probably actually
Yeah.
sleeping for once.
So,
Well, I guess we all gotta take a. I guess we're taking a 4-hour short rest.
okay. So you return to your barracks, kind of resettle back in. Wait till you begin to hear the commotion of people
Oh
waking
damn,
up.
we did the mansion out there, so we can't even chill in the mansion.
Nope.
It's
No.
stationary.
No.
We just gotta go hang out in our tiny barracks room.
I mean, we could do our daily stuff.
You could. There's a training yard here that you can use. Fred's out there and could, greet you and
Yeah, say
Yeah,
hi to
whatever you
Fred. We
want.
haven't seen him forever.
I guess I could meditate again.
sure,
I'll
you can
practice my spell sniper.
Give me a wisdom check, Ken. And
Yeah,
intelligence.
Rose will help you, or work with you, Aerith.
Yeah, can I work on my dexterity while we're doing this?
Absolutely. All right. So, ooh, okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yes.
Where's my document? Where are my notes that I wrote for myself so that I don't have to remember?
We go hard back and forth, Aerith.
Oh yeah.
I mean, everyone rolled pretty good, with the exception of nobody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that 10 is fine. It's average, right?
Narratively can't even feed. Here we go. That's what I need. All right. So.
Hmm.
For nobody, you can roll me 2d6. Aerith, you can roll me 5d6. Rose, 4d6. Eodos, you get 2d6. And Ken,
30.
as your friends
Powerful.
Oh no.
no. Head to their trainings, you sit in your barracks room. The first place that, you guys had your small little keep that was given to you in Greenest to use as a home base while you worked out of there. But this was kind of like the first place that you called yours, and it's the same room. They've kept it for you the entire time. When you were presumed dead, they cleaned it
Temporarily
out,
moved our shit out.
but nobody moved in here. They were just, nobody had time to. So when you came back, they cleared it up for you and gave you your stuff back. So being back in this room, it's familiar, and you meditate once again on that vast power, and it is vast. Do you try anything, or are you just kind of focusing on it? Like,
Yeah, just focusing on like stabilization.
so it's more
So
of
if I
this.
if I do end up pulling that trigger, going full dragon, it won't be as
Cataclysm.
strained.
Yeah. It definitely feels like it would probably hit you similarly at the moment, but as you stand in the midst of that massive vortex of energy in your own mind, there is so much power there, but there is peace. It's kind of like that weird combination of the two as you stand, and you find yourself drawing towards what you would perceive to be like the eye of the storm, trying to move yourself to the place where the energy will flow and twist around you, and you can draw on those bits of it that you need and can handle. And so your meditations are mostly spent trying to grasp the sheer depth of power here so that you can start to move into controlling it.
Mm-hmm.
Aerith and Rose, you have some stuff to work out. Man, do you have some stuff to work out, to the point where you're not using harmful spells, and you guys can probably find, healing to be done, but
I
Aerith,
shoot
you're
Rose
slinging
with my
spells
gun.
directly. Yeah, you're slinging them directly at Rose. Like, there isn't any hesitation there. And Rose, you were doing your best to distract everything about Aerith's casting, and there's a bit of catharsis there, but it's not punitive. And at no point do you feel like you're punishing Rose for their actions, but it still kind of feels good every now and then you'll hit them with a firebolt, and it's like, ow, ow, ow. And then you'll kind of like chuckle to yourself, and the next one will be like a cure wounds or like a healing thing that you're trying to do at that extended range that'll hit so that you can repair the damage caused. So you managed to train, but it's there's a lot going through your mind. There's a lot has happened. It's difficult to find the right focus. Same for nobody. That kind of like distraction while you're training. You make progress, but it's a lot of that repetitive, just rote action. But by the end of that, given a few hours to get some breakfast and rest yourselves afterwards, you head to Hadrian's office as you kind of assume that he's there. Seeing Chad sitting at the desk, he looks up and waves and sees Ken still cloaked and kind of hooded in this large new cloak, and narrows his eyes at Ken just a little bit, trying to see who this is. I gotta roll a d20.
I'll peek my hood up just a little bit so he can like see my face. It's like, hey buddy, kind of in a situation where I can't like show myself fully right now, but it's me. Don't worry.
Ken, you're back. Well, you're different. Okay, you going to see? Okay, let me.
Yep, going to see Adrian. Bye.
All right, yeah. He kind of like starts to stand up, and then realizing that Rose is just gonna blow past, sits back down.
It's good to see you again, buddy.
It's really good to see you again too. Don't mess up the guild hall again. Gives you like a kind of a weak thumbs up.
Yeah, I gotta talk to the boss about that as well. I gotta apologize about that. I was not in the best mindset.
I think you did the last time you were here.
Yeah.
Yeah. He just woke up about half an hour ago. He's having his coffee at the moment, but you can go ahead and join him.
Adrian, we're back.
You barge in the door. Hadrian kind of like lowers his mug of coffee down, putting it onto the desk, and looks up. Oh, holy shit! Y'all are back.
Hello.
Finally.
No one died this time.
Everyone's here.
He looks as you
Finally.
all stream in. You all are actually here now. It's actually all
Well,
of you.
somebody did die. Let's not call off. Somebody died, but we got him back.
I was making a joke. Try to be funny.
Maybe a little too soon.
All right.
Yes,
Well,
Ken died. He's better now.
I'm glad to hear it. I'm real happy to see y'all together. Trust me, seeing the Wanderer's Starlight definitely makes me feel a little bit safer. When y'all don't have the full complement of y'all, it's complicated, you know?
Oh, we know.
Keno like pull his foot back. Keno pull his foot back to show his face to Hadrian, obviously with the door shut. Hey, boss man.
That's different. I never quite. I think it's story time. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh boy.
You guys catch up, Hadrian. It takes a couple hours,
Mhm.
and a couple cups of coffee, and a couple
Some
shots
tea.
of whiskey, and some tea if you'd like it. Actually, yeah, it's probably strong tea here, because they don't have
It's a
the
hot
coffee here
toddy.
anymore. Yeah, it's a hot toddy. But you catch him all up, concluding with the shattering of the flail that morning at the Nether Mountains. And he just sort of like has his hands behind his head. Okay. Well, I know
It's been a time.
yeah. I know M got your message about the Dalians, right?
Right, yeah.
I
She
know
hasn't
she's
gotten
been
back to me.
right. She's
Sure,
been
that's
down at
fine.
the library last few days. I know. She's also trying to get this whole thing set up with Guild Hall and Starfall and all that. So,
Yeah.
but I know that I think she found something, nothing concrete, but something. I think she's actually. I didn't see her in her room this morning, so she probably slept at the library again.
Aerith can go find her then when you guys head to the library.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Alright, well,
but first things first, I need to do my shopping.
Right.
So, but I need new guild tag.
About
Mine
that.
got. Yeah.
right. You need to get.
Not only does Ken need a new guild tag, how much were you looking to spend on stuff, Ken? We might need a loan.
It's nothing
Alright.
too outrageous.
I
Let me
figured it might
see.
take a bit to completely re-outfit you.
Yeah, so let's see.
Is there anything you guys wanted to discuss with Hadrian before you head? Aside from the possibility of a loan.
Money.
Right. It's like I know we put in like a decent chunk of our savings into the guild repairs, which,
Right.
to be fair, yes, that was partially, if not most, all of our faults. But yeah, we
I mean,
might
what kind of guild doesn't make their guild hall dragon proof? It's not really our fault, right?
No, I kind of figured putting my guild hall in the middle of the city would make it dragon proof, but Baldur's Gate has also proven that wrong. So
Yeah.
you're probably right. We should get stronger materials.
Other than that, I guess just like keeping him all up to date on everything.
How much do we still have?
We have on hand in the guild fund, we have just shy of 60K.
Hmm.
We really
Which
been
is
spending
not
money,
a
y'all.
lot. Yeah.
all these upgrades have been expensive. I mean, they've been absolutely worth it. I'm not saying they weren't, but man, we kind of got to get back to adventuring and making some money, huh?
We haven't done it in a hot minute. I mean, we've killed dragons, just not, at their hordes where we can take all the money.
Oh,
Or we politely let them go.
Sure.
That too.
All right.
yeah, kind of, list that all out.
Looking at it, the two most expensive things are the pre-enchanted items. Like, the rest of it's pretty simple because it's things that Ken will be using to store his infusions in and things like that. But the cloak and ring are going to be the most expensive because those are both very rare.
You could probably use Aureus's plate armor. Means you grew a few inches.
Also, don't forget we did hand Manon or one of his cohorts that cloak of displacement. We could probably hook you up with that now that you're back.
Yeah, I got the cloak. Or wait, does he have the cloak?
Manon has it currently because I
yeah.
wanted to see if he could combine it with something. Like 2 enchantments into one item.
Because none of us have Ken's luxury of a bunch of
Yeah.
but we didn't want to wait because it is a cloak of displacement, so we were going to see if he could combine it into something.
Yeah, you were putting it with like something with protection, right?
Right. I don't remember what we were combining it with. I kind of just gave it to him and was like, hey, if there's something that you can think of that might easily mesh together, and kind of like
that's what it was. Okay.
Experiment with it. But
so we might have something for you in terms of the cloak.
Right? If he's done with that, which he might be, that's at Manon's just waiting for us to pick it up. It's already paid for, I think. Or at least mostly paid for. I hope it's paid for.
I need to remember that. I know
I
you
don't remember.
bought your item. I think you you paid for his commission to research it. And
So not to buy it.
yeah.
I mean, worst case scenario, that just means there's a cloak of displacement that you could have if you want it. I mean, we can still get you like a cloak of protection if you'd rather have it, but we do have one of those just chilling.
I will also say the repairs came in a little bit less than we were expecting. We were holding on to it for possible future investment, but I could probably throw
Oh,
another
that's
3K
great.
back into your account if that would help.
Oh, that's cool. Did
That would
Escalon do
be.
that thing like when you
Oopsie.
break a bone, but you break it clean enough that it can like repair stronger? Did he do that? Did he make the guild better?
I wouldn't say better, but that part of it's newer, and some of the repairs went better than we were expecting. So, you know,
It's definitely cleaner.
it's definitely cleaner. That's true.
Also, you should have taken this time to update the cafeteria and make it like nicer, right? More state of the art like food service equipment.
Insurance.
Getting new stuff,
Insurance
so,
money.
you know, I'd originally set that thing up like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, so new
Yeah.
stuff. It's not going to be nearly as greasy, but some of the adventurers
Well,
like that. They liked that kind of, greasy spoon, Waffle House type flavor, so
No thanks.
Waffle
I'm
House.
fine.
Dude, you cannot beat Waffle House at like 3 a.m. It is
When
it is
everything
a
else is
hard
closed.
sell. It is a hard sell to.
right,
I
I
have
feel that.
never been to a Waffle House, but
It's the only time it's good
Oh man.
is 3 a.m. after like a late night's concert or like on a road trip where you've been driving all fucking day and you just want to suffer all night.
And everything
If
is
you go
closed.
in there, if you go into a Waffle House, you're gonna expect the absolute worst. They all look terrible, but the food quality is top notch because it's people that don't give a fuck. So they're gonna get the food right. They're not there to make. They're not there to get rich. They gotta be, but
Yeah.
that's usually the people that know what they're doing. So,
hell yeah.
it's not clean. It doesn't look good, but it's gonna taste good. That's about all you can really expect.
Yep.
All right. But okay, so shopping. Let's see for your tools, the materials. Did you want to see about Aureus's armor?
I mean,
If
we
he's
could go
to,
talk to him, if nothing else,
Yeah,
because last time we kind of left him when he was unconscious. He might want to see us now that he's alive again.
yeah. Actually, I mean, we can see, and Ken can see Aureus again.
Alive.
Yeah, right. Now that you're both alive at the same time.
Oh my god.
So I guess we
Yes,
start
what's shot?
with seeing Aureus.
Oh, I need another map.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Our town map or our world map kind of got exploded too.
Yeah.
That made things complicated.
Okay. All right. Cool. Alrighty. So, first step first, the apartment.
Yeah,
Ken's
there.
new card, or Ken's new
Oh,
Oh,
tag.
also, yeah.
your new tags. Okay. You head out to talk to Chad about getting Ken some new tags, and he gets together the paperwork, kind of pulling the old paperwork that you guys had originally signed out to use the original contract that Ken's fingerprint was on as a base. He presses the tag against it. This tiny little magical flash as it is linked together, and he holds a brand new, fresh-looking 80085 tag out to you, Ken.
I don't like it. It's too new.
It's too new.
And then
Yeah,
toss it
it's-
on the
it's-
ground, stomp on it, put it back on. You'll be fine.
Yeah, that'll change.
They always do, but just let us know if there's anything we can help with, okay?
Also, can you destroy Robert's old one and his old paperwork? Or at least inactivate it?
Sure. Here, just I guess give me his tag. He holds his hands out for the one that Ken had been wearing.
Yep.
Kind of like
I'll
he
pass it over.
puts it down on his desk, and there's like a little bit of a slate like slab on it, like one of those like magnetic slates at the grocery store. He
Mm-hmm.
just sets it down, and there's another flash of light, and the
Wipe it
engraving
clean.
on there is removed. It's still dinged up and beat to hell, but the 80085 engraving is no longer there. And he takes out Robert's contract that he had signed with his weird skeletal thumbprint on it, and he stamps on it. What would it be? Because it wouldn't be like it'd be like an
Decommissioned.
all-encompassing decommissioned. I love that.
Yeah.
That's perfect because that covers both kicked out and dead.
Right.
Decommissioned. Poof. All right,
Yep.
goes back into your guys' folder.
Rosa will take the old beat up tag and just leave it with Hadrian, I guess, just as a memento.
Don't let
Alright,
dead
then.
people in the guild.
You know, I trust y'all to keep him under control, and I will say he wasn't the one who blew up the guild hall, but I do understand what you're saying.
No.
He gives you like a little bit of a smile and a wink. Maybe we should be a little bit more robust with our admissions. Keep the dead out. Might help.
Maybe. Unless they really prove
Preferably.
themselves, I guess.
I'd assume
Technically, he was
had.
alive. At that time, he
At
was
that
alive.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Heading out of the guild hall, Ken, your new tag. You head across the street to Arturia's former loft apartment. Knocking on the door. There's no answer. Do you let yourselves in?
If
Can
it's
I try to
open?
send a message? Is he in there?
You call out through the door. You knock. You send your message. Spell. Nothing. No response. You don't get any trigger from your spell.
Okay. Well, I think Aureus might be on the loose, or I guess the first place to look would be his church.
Well,
Yeah,
let's
I was
see
just
if he's
about to
still
say, maybe you
inside
got-
the apartment.
I
Just kick down the
tried,
door.
but
Yeah.
Arius,
let's pick-
wake up!
You open
I
the
guess
door.
let's-
Sorry, Ken. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say let's peek inside first, I guess.
Okay. You open the door, and it wasn't a large apartment. You each step in, look around. It looks lived in. It looks like somebody had made like tea and some sort of light breakfast that morning, cleaned up after themselves, and then left. But you don't see Aureus.
Yeah, he's probably at the church.
To the church, then.
You head out into the city, crossed the winding streets to the Temple of Ilmater. Stepping through, it's very obvious. The large, jovial form of Aureus, as he is speaking with a few of the partitioners, I think they're called parishioners of the temple. He looks up at you, and I think you wanted to take over for a little bit, Kyle?
Yep.
Cool. He does.
Arius is just gonna grin when he sees you guys and walk over.
Aureus, you're
He walks
alive.
And as he
Look
steps
at
out
you,
from behind the
all
people,
alive and stuff.
he's not wearing his armor. And he is walking with a very simple wooden cane that's just clicking as he walks towards you.
We broke him more.
Well,
He's
I
gonna
don't
walk
think that
over
was
and
our fault.
and he's just when he gets close to you guys, he's just gonna open his arms for a big hug.
I reciprocate.
How have you guys been, my friends?
In pain.
Rough.
Much better, honestly. We've definitely been better, but man, are you a sight for sore eyes.
Yeah.
Good to see you guys too. Now I've heard rumors that you guys have been causing trouble here and there.
Hey.
Are you that surprised?
Trouble
I am
happens around us. We don't do it mostly.
I give Rose a stink eye.
Hey,
I see Ken
that's
has
internal.
grown some. I think you're almost as tall as me now.
That was an understatement.
Yeah, went through some stuff. Not all bad.
Mostly
He'll
good.
like look left, look right to the parishioners. She said, like
Yeah.
make sure no one's like close enough, and he'll like lift his hood up just enough for Orius to see his scales, the scales on his face,
And
and like
the
part of his
horns.
horn.
You know,
Interesting addition.
So I'm a dragon now? Question mark.
Who knows, man?
Potentially, maybe, kind of a dragon.
Maybe.
Well, I don't know how to respond to that. Other than I hope it works out for you then. What have you all been up to? Like I said, I've only heard rumors really, and I kind of woke up in a stranger's apartment.
Well, we.
I am giant now.
Yeah,
Very tall again.
that's my niece's apartment. She said you can have it. It's the rent's paid for 3 more months, so
Enjoy
if you
it.
want to keep it, if you want to keep it after that, then it's all you.
I will have to thank her for that then.
Enjoy it.
All you, and all of the money that I know that you always have.
Yes. My absurd amount of wealth that I keep all to myself.
Mm-hmm. How was being a statue?
Yeah, how
as you can
was
see,
that?
He was just gonna lift up his cane and kind of like slam it on the ground a little bit.
Slight lasting damage.
Slight lasting damage.
We
yes.
did break him.
Apparently,
We
petrification
tried our
caused some
best.
permanent damage to the body.
Yeah. Oops. It's less so than being dead permanently.
Yeah.
That is true, and I'm aware it was not intended.
We can get you hooked up with a cool cane, like a much cooler cane. What do you want? How do you want it to sound?
No, this cane suits me just fine. But I have no use for my armor now. I don't think I could even wear it properly without falling over. But
Yeah, we actually also partially came over to ask you about that. Would you be willing to give it to me? I changed specializations after you left the first time.
of course, it's mine is yours, and I have no need of it, and I sadly cannot wear it anymore. But it will
I
all work
appreciate
out.
it, man.
No
I
problem.
will.
I think I left it in
Besides-
the
it would have been
apartment.
left at the apartment. Yeah.
Yeah, because I can't lug it around.
No,
It's
you would
small.
not have lugged it around.
I mean, besides being unable to be an adventurer anymore, though, are you okay?
Besides,
Are they
my lack of
treating you
strength,
right, honey?
I am treated quite well here.
Okay.
That's good. We've done a lot since that the first mask, which Rose kind of like looks down at it reattached around on their hip.
Yep, it is at your waist. That same one.
Yep.
Mhm.
It's been a lot.
Sure, it's
Do
a
you
long
want-
story. If you all want to sit down, we'd be glad to hear it. Or is time of the essence?
Yeah, we're
Uh,
kind of on a time crunch today. But I tell you what, whenever we get the chance, we can get you a portal to our new abode,
Oh,
and we can talk there. Yeah, apparently in my angry draconic haze, I made an island.
as one does.
From a mountain.
accidentally made an island with a mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's part of the long story, and we'll discuss it in detail.
I will look forward to listening to it then.
Okay.
Anything else I
Well,
could help you all with?
I guess before we go again, Rose will reach up to the necklace that they wear around their neck and take it off. It wasn't as good as you were at putting them on here, but I kept adding to it, and they'll show him the
Dragon scale
necklace with the
necklace.
dragon scales.
Yep.
And a bunch of them are kind of like haphazardly shoved on there.
I'm just gonna
They
give
look
a
like
little
Rose made it.
a light grin. Like, well, I'm glad you've kept it.
Do you want it back?
Oh no, I am not an adventurer anymore. Besides, it was given to you for a reason.
I am sorry that what happened to you happened.
Things happen in life that you don't expect, but you move on, you adapt, and maybe you find a new purpose in life.
Like you have? Are you working for the church now?
Working with, not necessarily working for. I think a change in pace is in order. Less so fighting dragons, more so helping people in cities. Being a healer, maybe.
yeah, man, that's damn good.
Suits you. Watch out for dragons. Even though
Oh,
you're in the middle of a city, that doesn't prevent them from, destroying
Everything.
half a noble district.
Being dragons.
Yeah.
I'm sure if a dragon were to come, you all would come by to stop it. I have no doubt.
As long as we know about it, and you don't just get murdered while we're halfway across the world, and then we come back and you're dead again.
I
Don't
think
die.
being dead is the least of my worries. With you running about. But I am fine, Rose. And it's best you take care of yourself as well. Don't do rash things, as I'm sure you've been doing.
Mm,
You know me. Can't seem to help it.
And you know me. You know what my advice will be. Just take it into mind.
Don't.
I'm sure you know me very well, Rose. But you have friends around you. Listen to what they say, or at least hear their advice.
Right.
One more hug before you all go off and do more grand adventures.
Yeah.
one more hug.
Try not to end the world. Or at least try to prevent the end of the world.
I'm sure you all will succeed.
Well, you won't know if we don't.
I'm sure I'll find out if there's a giant fire off in the distance.
He'll know for a moment.
Yep.
Yeah, before the
Very
world
brief.
ends.
For a very brief moment, I'll know.
Alright. Party.
I'm going to leave the temple because bleh.
Family hugs, and Rose scurries out. Their
It's a nice
affinity
temple.
for Aureus only, or affection for Aureus only just barely outweighing their hatred of temples. The rest of you head out into the city, and to continue with your day's shopping. And on that really just lovely note, I think that's a good place to end today's game. Saying that with Aureus, that was awesome. That was. I miss Aureus. As soon as you started talking with Aureus' voice, I was like, oh, I missed Aureus so much.
Marius
We
is
broke him. No.
No, you can't break somebody who refuses to let themselves be broken. You just change them.
He's found a new purpose. And maybe he'll come back as a cleric later on. Depends how I feel with my various characters I've made.
Right.
Keep me
18
scrambling.
different characters.
I'm trying my best to
It's
stick with
down to-
nobody.
Yeah, it's down to nobody and your one backup. I know him. I know that those are the
Nicholas
two.
Flamel.
Nicholas Flamel.
Nick,
I
what?
do know
Mhm.
that he's a character from Harry Potter, right? And an actual.
He's a character
he's an
from
actual-
a lot of different things.
He's a historical
is.
figure. Like he's actually existed or talked about being existed. So I just wanted to make sure that you
Yep.
knew that. Because when I read the name, I was like,
I mean, I don't know how well you read into it, but part of the story is the.
Oh, I've read the whole thing at this point. It's
Okay.
great.
Yep.
I love it. I really do. And it fits so well with another story that I've been kind of low-key telling in the background, and this one that is just slowly brewing. So don't get me wrong. I do like the character. I think it'd be great to bring him in. I just really like nobody. And
I like
you
those.
did- even if he just finishes his arc and then we go from there, that's fine.
I mean, I like all my characters, so I don't want them all to just like, drop him, get a new one. I like them all. I want them all to end somewhat satisfying. So
Yeah, I feel that. I do too. I feel that for everybody's characters. I just want them to have a good story. Oh, guys, you didn't explode the party.
Right.
We kept it together somehow,
You did.
magically.
Mhm.
It is entirely because we still have a little bit to level up. Because I did intend for Eidos to bounce from this, but I also I thought we were gonna level whenever we got Kim back, so that was why I made the dude, and I don't know where he was at 13 level what
Right.
like stat and all that, so I didn't want to roll it back, so that's why. But I did fully intend for it to be like Eidos's nah fuck this, I gotta take a little bit of time moment.
I like the idea that Eidos is sticking with it as he kind of thinks it over and decides. And that way it's not like that rash action decision when he does decide to step out, but more of like it tracks more with his character that it's kind of like a calculated, like this is what needs to happen. Like, at least in my opinion. Guess we will see how that goes when it unfolds. And I know that was also mine. I was like, yeah, you'll hit 14, go through, because I knew what it was going to take to get Ken back. I'd already like churned all that out, and then after I'd said that, I realized that I can't give Ken a level every time he comes back from the dead.
You can't just die and get another level.
So
like you find a loophole in the game. It's like, wait, he's exploiting the game.
he's exploiting the game now. He keeps killing his character, then bringing in a pet character to get to the next level.
We're creating our own miles. We found the hack.
Yep.
And Aurora was able to join us at a good time. So
Yes, I'm
my
glad.
suffering of the day, pushing the game just a little bit, ended up working. Oh.
Now
Glad
I
it
only
remains so
have
flexible.
just 2 hours to work to edit out. Ugh.
You
And
got
you can
there right when
rewatch
you were
it,
needed.
Yeah.
right? You can
Yeah.
rewatch it and see the conversation that Rose and Ken had,
That was good.
which was nice. That was a
was
nice
really nice.
conversation.
That's
Yeah.
good. I'm just glad that I was able to make it back to the group conversation, because
Yeah.
that was the one thing that was gonna like kill me for tonight.
Right,
I
the
was
one
just
thing
like,
you
I'm
wanted to
not.
do.
You need to be there for the revelation.
I know.
Right?
But I am glad that the family friend did graduate from college.
That was
So
really cool.
Yeah.
That is a
Nice.
definite achievement. So
it is. And he said that he has 10 more years to actually get the appropriate degree for his field of profession.
Yeah, I mean, if he's gonna be a
So,
doctor of some sort,
Yeah.
you have to literally go to school forever.
Yeah.
Best
Sounds
of luck to him.
awful.
It sounds.
I mean, kudos to him for pushing on through and committing.
If that's what he wants to do, I could fucking do it.
I did 7 years and managed to get a bachelor's degree, and that's it. That's all. I'm done.
You're better
Can't
than
take the
me.
stress
Right.
anymore.
Anyway,
Forget how messed up this map is. We got
I
drawings
know.
everywhere.
And like,
I
all right,
wanted
so
to add another one, but I don't know what to draw.
I've been slowly building a map of Erebor on Incarnate. Like I've got just like the rough layout of it done, but I started to build it a while ago, and then I keep looking at this map and I'm like, this map has so much character. It has so much story.
Right?
you
It's,
should
like, so...
you should just have this map just like as a thumbnail in the new map.
Yeah, like these drawings and writings have been here for over 2 years now.
Yeah.
See,
Drew it the first time we came to Erebor.
freaking crazy. I'm trying to like, where's like the oldest map in here? It's got to be one of the greenest maps, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't know if we
Ice
were there long enough to
Cones,
like draw on those though.
Urukai's
Mm,
Lair.
did we draw on it?
I don't think
I don't think
so.
we did.
I don't think so.
We had, I think we saw at Kento then, and we had,
Yeah.
who was it? The cleric, I believe.
Taslin.
Taslin.
I must have either moved the greenest maps or gotten rid of them to make room, because there are a fuckload of maps in this thing. I can't find them. The oldest one that I can find is from... I probably went through... Oh, no, here it is. Act 1 greenest. There we go. Are there any drawings on here? Nope. Nope.
I think Erebor was the first place we really started to just like doodle because it was
Draw.
the first time we had like downtime and
Yeah.
like just story.
Was it the
Interacting
dragon?
with.
Tokens.
Oh my god. Those old ass tokens.
Eh.
The original Race Velgar.
Right.
Aerith. Oh my god.
Yep. The first Aerith.
I am so
Taslin.
glad my art has improved.
Ken's original artwork when he still had short hair.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Memories. Holy shit.
Oh my god. Just zoom in all the way just to get good view of the characters for the video.
It has been so long, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That was when I think it was still when I was in Minnesota for that first time, like right after we started dating.
Yeah, I think so. The
'Cause I was there for a
affordable
month.
grape. I
Minnesota.
forgot that I named it the affordable grape.
Grape.
That was the name of the affordable grape and the quacking skunk. The affordable grape.
I remember the
Oh.
quacking skunk.
I remember the skunk too.
Because the grape was the farming store. It was where you could go to get like normal tools and farming supplies, and it wasn't a magical supplies store by any means, but it was where you could go to get like tools. And then the quacking skunk was where you guys kept going for food, and she'd have like this rotating like micro brew type menu of like 3 or 4 different meals per day. And
What about
we
the little
buy so
opening we
much
snuck
rope?
in?
Yeah, the little like
Sewer drain grate
Yeah.
area that we...
Yep.
Yup. I still have Kintoji's freaking giant frog token on the GM layer from when it had to get dropped out of. Oh man.
and how Eidos and I were the only ones with dark vision, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
back in the days.
Couldn't see anything.
Oh man.
Oh my
I'm
god.
just because I remember because we somehow survived. Well, not survived. We saved all of the
You
villagers.
saved everybody. Even on this map. So this was the one that I was definitely sure you guys were going to lose people on. This is the assault of the Temple of Shantae. And this is the one where the cultists, you had all these people in here and the lead priest
Kintoji!
like
Where I joined.
and you had this was where Aureus first showed off his godly ability to hold the goddamn line.
I am the wall.
Could not get past him. It was like this right here.
This was before I even started.
Yeah, this was
Rose isn't even
before.
This was
Before I
where
joined.
this was where we Enos incapacitated the guy, and Ken fucking nuked him with a giant fuck off boulder with catapult.
Oh yeah.
Nope. I still have this one. I guess I'd never got. It makes sense that I wouldn't, but I never got rid of any maps. I still have the old tunnel that you guys crept out
Oh,
of
the
because you had
tunnel.
to sneak out of the keep so that the cult couldn't see you. And
I had to cast light, or no, I don't think I did cast
yeah,
light.
no, you guys opted not to cast light because you didn't want to draw
To
attention.
prevent,
yeah, we
to
muffled
prevent
our
drawing
armor.
attention.
Mhm.
We put a bunch of cloth.
That's
under our
right.
armor
You
so we
muffled
didn't
the
have
armors.
so we didn't have the negative stealth check. We made
That
it
was
The
slower.
disadvantage.
So insane. It was all like the level 1 stuff. That was so long ago, and now you know
It was.
Oh,
No, we were
so
level
good.
2.
Just
No, you
think,
started
think
at
how.
level 1.
We started at 1.
Did we start at? I
Just-
remember starting at 2.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I distinctly remember because Enos had just a regular ass axe at the start.
He did. Yup.
Yeah, I had my
Still
long
killed
sword,
me
but
with
it didn't have proficiency, so I had to spam magic stone for like
Yup.
primary damage.
Yup. I feel that, man. Do I fucking feel that with Cray?
Was it Kentoji and I just casting, what was it? Toll of the Dead?
No, it was Tazlin. And
Haslin, that's
Yeah.
right.
Kentoji was a monk. He was running. I mean, Tazlin or Kentoji was probably the most capable because he could just wow right up there with Aureus. But you know,
He
his
had a
sword-
fixation.
He always
of,
jumped
like,
in and then stealthed
Cli-
away.
yeah,
Yep.
he always climbed a building. Everywhere we went, he was climbing something.
Well,
It was
that's always-
hilarious.
Man, one
he
of the
was
high
either,
ground.
like climbing on buildings or springboarding off us to like drop on people.
Yep.
No, the night in Greenest was one night. You did not get a long rest. You had 2 short rests. You did one night after walking the whole day, and you guys went from level 1 to 2, and you saved everybody. Every interaction with the cult, you put yourselves between yourself and the civilians and stopped anybody from being able to get to the people. You protected them, and because of that, Greenest, they were the first to call you guys heroes before you even knew, before you even really were heroes. They were you Aureus standing in front of the keep that night under the moonlight and walking out to meet, what was his fucking name? Blue half dragon.
Oh,
that
that's
was-
right. And we and
Yeah.
I stole his spearhead to make the first iteration of Nidhogg,
You
and
did.
I tampered with his armor to make it more brittle. So the next
You-
time we fought, I fucked him over.
yeah,
You did. You
Yep.
did both those things in the Raider camp because that night when Aureus fought him, that fight was brutal and close. That man was like level 4 or 5, and you were level 1, and you almost had him. He was going at it a bit cocky from the beginning because that's how the book says to do it. And then when he finally started to like, okay, here we go, you got him really close. That was impressive. And then they left because that was the deal. You know, have your strongest champion come fight me, and then we'll leave. That was 4 games. We played 4 games without you guys doing a single long rest. God, it's been a while. It's been such a
all the
It
changes
has.
we
It's
all
crazy
went
to
through.
look back.
Mhm.
And the first time we meet Rose, we almost insta-killed her.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had just a regular ass axe, but you still almost fucking murdered me.
Look
In
there.
one go.
Because you
Didn't
looked
you get
like
a
a
crit?
cult member.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
purely because it was the
I was
crit.
undercover.
Yeah, they were undercover. They were kind of undercover, but also looking for you guys. And
That's
you
right.
know,
You were passed out
You
in the
guys-
middle of the pathway.
I got. They
you
were
know
bored
Rose now.
waiting.
Does that? Yeah.
It's accurate now because we know her very well now.
That'd be such an odd way to
This
end a
took way
character.
too
Like,
long.
you make a character, it instant dies because the party doesn't know, and then you're like, all
It
right,
would-
make a new character.
It would have sucked really bad too at that point because we would have had no way to help. None.
No, yeah, no.
Don't head off. Done. Well, your cool bard who caused a lot of problems and solved a lot of problems is now not gonna
Dead.
be there anymore.
I mean,
Never-
I would have just
never
made a new
existed.
bard.
You would have just made a new bard. You're right.
Because that's the thing is, you guys wanted me to be the face of the party, so I was like, ah, fuck, I have never done this before. Okay, here we go. I was really, really nervous because I'm not really. I mean, I wasn't really a person who was comfortable talking.
And now look at
and
you
being in the
now.
face of the I seriously
now,
like.
now you're fucking with our memory,
I
Yeah.
know.
giving us all internal trauma.
Right.
The bardiest bard that's ever.
Right.
Yeah, because like
Just
your
doing
first
my job,
character was
guys.
a rogue. That was Vash. You just wanted something
Yeah.
simple. And I remember when Taz stepped out, you wanted to bring in something, but you wanted to do something different. And I was like, you should play a caster. And you were like, I don't want to play a caster. It seems so scary. And I was like, play a caster. It'll be fun.
Spells are hard.
Spells are so complicated. It's fine. I'll be there to help. It's fine. Just play a caster.
Right.
Casters can wreak so much havoc if they plan ahead. It's ridiculous.
Yes.
They are
But like the worst
I
part of it is that
I
you're
prefer
just
it now.
like you come up with a plan, you know, before your turn happens, but then you're just like, all right, as long as
Something
everything
happens.
stays how it
Right.
is, my plan
And
should
there
work.
goes
And then
Bucky.
and then the turn before you, like everything just changes, and you're just like, God fucking damn it!
Every time. Every time. It's like, well, there goes my fucking plan. Let me scramble for 20 seconds to figure out what I'm doing. Oh god, hold on.
I think that's why I like Bladesinger, because, you know, even though my plan gets messed up after like waiting
If
for
nothing
everybody
else, you
else's
can
turns,
just
I'm just
somebody.
like poke, just poke him.
Yep.
Why I liked Cray, aside from my few casts, like all of my magic was used mostly narratively. I didn't use it, like I either used it for shield
Yeah.
or to cast like identifies, detect magics, things like that. So Cray, it was always easy for me. I'm like, I swing twice with advantage, and so I swing 3 times for
I
each
hit him
attack.
with the sword.
And then Mac or Dionadar will bite him in the ass, and that's my turn.
Shield is such a powerful spell.
It really is. It's great.
So much.
Drake.
I was debating early on with Orius taking a 1-level dip as wizard just to get shield, just to make it extra tanky.
You could
Really?
have, or you
Yeah,
could have,
thank
or
you.
you could have done Magic Initiate to.
Or
And
the
Pick up
I think
shield.
you
Yeah.
only
Yeah.
get that once per day, but that still would be nice.
I think you get it once per day, otherwise you can spend spell slots to use it.
It's true. Or yeah, and you being a paladin,
Yeah.
that would work.
You would
yeah.
have the spell slots for it.
I know originally
slots,
for
though.
Orius, I asked if I could have 2 shields, one in
did.
each hand.
And you know
Dude,
what?
Aureus was
Double
such a
system.
tank, bro. It was so good. Like, if we could have figured out a way to get in that early, let him
Yeah.
just be like a 30 fucking AC.
I remember looking into it and looking into like different shield fighting styles and kind of low key coming up with a vague idea for how Aureus could do that, just in case you decided to pursue that. Because I thought it'd be hilarious watching him just walk in with these 2 like massive shields and just swinging his
Power
arms
shield.
around.
It was just so good having that dedicated tank.
Yeah.
Shield Bass helps so much because I could just make sure one enemy stayed on the ground while
Right?
I could hold other people off.
Without having to sacrifice one of your attacks, because technically
Yeah.
you can just, as part of the attack action sequence, you can do a tripping attack, like a prone attack. It just doesn't do damage. It's just it's technically a shove, but you shove them down. And so it's just a contested acrobatics, like a grapple check. But it doesn't do any damage, and it uses one of your attacks. So Aureus being able to do that with the shield bash, I think with advantage on a bonus action, it was
Pretty dope.
awesome. What is that from?
Bofuri.
It's from an anime.
Oh, God.
It's
They just
it's
level
literally
D10
like
or
the girl, the main character. She starts playing one of the most popular games, and she's just like, I don't want to get hit, or I don't want to, you know, feel pain when I get hit.
that.
So I'm just
Okay,
going to max out my vitality to the
I've seen
point
that.
where she has 0 speed, so she can't like walk or run like a normal person, and she has a shit ton of like status effects for abilities, but she gets like more abilities later on in the end. It's a great anime. I highly recommend it.
At the end, doesn't she get like a full-on Gundam mecha suit
Yes,
in a fantasy world?
Yes.
I mean, I vaguely motion over to Ken.
Oh yeah, there's that.
If Ken
Which
can
anime
make us
is
a full ass Gundam, bro. We could settle this issue with Tiamat ourselves right now. Let's do
Power
it.
Rangers style. Come on.
See, what's gonna happen after we deal with Tiamat? What's everyone gonna do then?
That's the
Die.
question.
I don't know.
That's not
Really
allowed.
curious.
We're gonna be. Are we gonna hit 20 before we deal with Tiamat, or do we hit 20 after dealing with Tiamat?
Okay, so the way I have it planned, Severin, quote unquote, final boss fight. You go into that at 19. At the end of that, you'll level up, and then you'll fight Tiamat.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll be level.
Hell yeah.
We can do whatever we want. You know, if we win against Tiamat or solve that problem, level 20, we can go do anything. What do we want to do at that point? You know.
I want to
I
rule
think.
the world.
No, that's not
No.
allowed.
No.
I
know
think
Ken
Don't
and me
want
have
the
already
next
tried to talk
campaign
about
to be
this.
fighting Rose.
for Aerith, it would probably to open a school with all the knowledge that he's obtained.
That's yeah, that would work.
So.
Yeah, I mean it'll also be interesting because like you guys still have it. It's the whole story is going to be like 4 acts, and you're reaching the end of Act 3. You've got a few things to still deal with, like backstory related things. You know, the Rose and Thorn thing, the Sid and
Right.
Ken
I'm gonna-
thing.
That's what Rose is gonna do. I'm gonna go with Thorn. We're gonna kill Tatiana, and I'm gonna take over her role.
That would be pretty cool.
Titania.
Like, that's
Tatiana.
fucked up, but that's cool. Next
Yeah.
thing we hear from Rose, she's the ruler of the Fey world.
Oh no.
Fey realm.
Hell yeah.
She's the new summer court queen.
Oh god, no. Oh no.
I will be Titania.
That is
Oh
frightening.
my god. Gina's basically becoming Fae-Ul from Shadowbringers.
Man, the more and more that the campaign goes on, the more and more that I realize I really just wrote a Final Fantasy game. We tick every Final Fantasy checkbox. I mean, even down to having a character named Sid.
And Aerith.
Right?
And Aerith.
Where's Biggs and Wedge? There's
Oh yeah,
somewhere.
there's. You have to make a base. Wait.
I'm already
We'll
on.
find like 2
Don't even think that I haven't already had the thought. I'm already on. You know, there have been discussions. Ken can probably guess where they may come in.
Or just
Oh,
have 2
are we-
cultists
Now
that
we-
are incompetent that are just Biggs and Wedge that just help us.
The only other thing we need is the icons.
Yeah, that's true.
Other than
Yeah, 'cause, I
Bahamut,
mean,
we need
we're all-
Shiva, we need Ifrit, we need Rama.
And basically all of our characters are already just Final Fantasy jobs. The only ones that are outliers are kind of Nobody and Rose because like
They're like a mesh
14
of 2 jobs.
yeah, 14 kind of melded a couple jobs into like Bard inherently.
With
So-
Archer.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
I'm
like
just talking like a Final Fantasy in general, and nobody gives me some pretty strong Orin vibes from 10. Like the Samurai Ronin
Ooh.
Warrior.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a whole
Dan,
Final Fantasy all the way down.
is Nobody actually dead all along? Is that what you're telling us?
No, that's
Maybe.
Robert.
That was Robert.
That was.
No, Robert was
We
actually
already did that.
alive all along.
That is
That
okay.
was
Yeah,
the trick.
Robert was alive all along. Now he's a demon, but that's besides the point.
He's not yet. You guys didn't destroy him. You didn't fight him. He's actually still technically alive. He's
Hey,
just
don't even worry about it.
very
First campaign, Eidos is gonna go with Robert into the hells, and he's gonna help him solve that fucking war. We'll get him back.
Well, you kind of need the war to go on for eternity. Because
I
if
was
either
nope.
side
Nope,
wins, it's bad.
Nope. We're solving this fucking war.
All right. Chaos is destroyed, and through that, entropy ends, and the world turns into the first, and light takes over and stagnates all.
Oh god.
And that's
We're not
exactly
getting
what
of
we
all
need.
3. We're not getting of all 3.
That's what we go into with campaign.
Yeah. You know what they call that?
Son of a.
That's job security.
Oh my god. No, we just
Oh, I love
become the warriors of darkness.
Yeah,
The first ones.
We solve all these problems, And we have to make ourselves the common enemy to unite the world so that, they don't get lazy, don't get all like ambivalent and just rely on us. They have to be able to handle themselves. So once we solve the problems, we got to be the problem.
Don't want nobody.
I don't think Aureus would approve of that. He'd be like, "What did I tell you? I leave for one moment."
Oh my
you all
god,
go to
Robert
Eagle?
becomes Valtteri.
I just imagine Aureus just shaking his cane at the party. Knock it off, you kids!
Stop it!
I mean, he could be leveling up as a cleric in the background. Maybe he'll be level 20 and come kick your ass. Like, what did I say? None of this nonsense.
Aureus is the
What?
NPC.
How is Aureus artifact evolving? Because we've kind of talked about other people. Like, he's got his, right? Did it go back to him now that he's alive?
Yep.
It snapped immediately back to him.
I don't have to
His
worry about
artifact
that.
probably wouldn't change too much because it originally just healed people.
Yeah, it.
But I'm
worked
saying,
as a-
like, because they kind of evolve, right? Like,
yeah,
have you thought about how you would want his to evolve?
Maybe a bigger hit pool and then maybe like a free warding bond on people.
that's kind of how I had it envisioned. Is it was going to like the hit pool would grow with you based off of your own proficiency bonus, and like I think it was actually based on your level. And then eventually you would be able to redirect attacks from friendlies nearby into that hit pool, absorbing it through that as opposed to letting them take damage, healing others with it. But it was always built around that like defensive. In my mind, they'd wrap out from his arms in these large like strings of cloth that each have glowing light on them, and kind of look almost like wings. That's how.
Imagine if we'd have had that. Aureus is our fucking just a bulwark right at the front, covering us, and
Would've been
just
nice.
all of us able to freely go to town, bro.
Things
Still
would have been a
remember-
lot different.
I remember in the Temple of Endless Hallways, that fucking hallway with the zombies, where he just stood
Yeah.
there and nothing could get past him, nothing
Said
could even
no.
hit him, and he just said no as you guys picked off all those.
We turned that hallway into a fucking blender, and it was great. And I will never not miss having a tank.
Feel it. Having gone through Strahd as the closest thing we had as a tank, as a battlesmith.
I feel so.
I will say, being a tank, status effects are your enemy. So bad.
Yeah.
You get poisoned, you're screwed. You're on fire, you're screwed.
Confused. I mean, but as a paladin, you at least have good saves.
That is true, but like AoEs, oh my god.
Deck space stuff.
I will
say
Shield Master saved him a few times on like some bad AoEs, but
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
AoEs will always be like a melee's nightmare.
Yeah,
It's-
I mean,
You would need a feat that would give you evasion.
But I kind of like how he's been too, because I don't know how much you guys know about Ilmater, which is his god. His god is like the crippled god, so he's kind of following suit.
I mean,
so good.
just imagine if we still had Aureus and I just put Fizban's shield on him.
That would be
Extra
great.
2 AC.
Yeah, just the tankiness alone. Great, man. Yeah.
Oof.
Our party is just so, like, squishy inherently, because none of us have crazy hit die is the problem.
Yeah, my next character's not much better. If anything, it's worse.
Don't
Just
say that.
basically hitting all the boxes. You had a tank, and then you had a melee monster, and now you have a ranged monster that's physical damage.
And now whatever the
Now
new
it's
one
time for ungodly magic abomination.
is.
Chaos.
I don't like
But-
that.
Well, to be his specialty is divination, So it's about knowing shit and then setting up traps. But he doesn't like killing things.
Interesting.
He does not like killing things, so he'll always do weird
Oh,
traps
that's
to
too bad.
confuse the enemies. Oh, he'll kill things.
He
But his
doesn't
main-
like it.
Did you
He's
see?
gonna have to get used to it if he's gonna be in the party.
Did you see some of the special spells I made for him?
I've looked through some of them. Some of them are ridiculous.
Their whole point is to just mitigate the enemy so he can walk past, open up a library or a secret vault, get the knowledge, and then walk away.
Nah.
He doesn't like fighting things. If he can avoid it, at least. He has no problem beating the shit out of evil people. Just tends to be that all the good magic items are hidden away and people don't like it. He's like, I want to look at it.
Show
I just want to
me.
touch.
I just want to see it.
I just want to see it.
I just want to give it a little poke. Just the
Yeah.
tips.
Just a little looksy doodle.
But no, he's fun. And then I did technically have a tank, but he was a tank that used his health to do more damage.
So kind of a blood hunter-esque.
Yep.
Dark
So the
Knight.
more HP he's missing, the more damage he does. And he can take off half his HP. That was the idea I had for his weapon.
That is a.
That
can-
sounds
That's
dangerous.
Final Fantasy 11 Dark Knight, right?
Yeah.
That's my favorite kind of class. I didn't play 11 for a super long time, but goddamn, I love dropping my health to deal a lot of damage, to steal more health, and yo-yo up and down to just do big numbers. Oh, it's so fucking fun.
Yeah,
That was the idea
restored,
for
so
him.
good.
Yeah, and then I can't remember what the other one was. Another one was another paladin. Had another paladin in the works.
I remember him.
He was friends with Aureus.
Yep.
That was part of his story.
I think it actually kind of worked out too, because the way you'd written it, he was also going to be a member of the Order of the Gauntlet, which was Ontharr Froom's order. That paladin that you guys met so fucking long ago.
Briefly.
in El Turel, who, was friends with Leosin and was the one who kind of like pointed you towards Leosin, where Leosin was at the moment. And then was, of course, the one who ended up having to go and rescue Leosin from the torture. But he did
We
that
never got
and
there.
got them out because you guys had bigger things to do. You opted to go for the cult.
We
and
were busy.
that's it. Like, my favorite thing as a DM is putting you guys at a branching path and going, okay, which way are they going? Are they going to go left or right? Sometimes it'll be left or right. Sometimes it'll be like 4 branches. Other times, it's just one that you can only go this one way. It's like I'm giving you the only real choice right now is to continue. But I love that, and that was one of them. Like, if you go to Baldur's Gate, you could potentially save Leosin, which would secure him as an ally, but it would enable the cult to get further away and possibly get to where they're going. And
You can go left or right, and we somehow go up.
you do that more frequently than you know.